Good afternoon. I'm Joseph Bonanno, live from 6 and Peabody. The Tennessee Titans first-round pick, Cam Ward, was introduced today at Ascension St. Thomas Sports Park, where he was surprised by Hall of Fame quarterback and Oilers legend Warren Moon, who unretired his number 1 jersey and offered it to Ward to wear as the Titans' first ever number 1 overall pick. The second and third rounds of the 2025 NFL Draft get going tonight, with the Titans scheduled to pick at number 35. Some teams are making their first picks of the draft tonight, as the Texans and Rams both traded out of their spots late in the first round. You can catch all of Day 2 draft coverage with the Titans radio crew tonight starting at 6 p.m. following 3HL right here on The Zone and on Zone TV. For your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Balls. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Yo, welcome in. 3HL is on the air. 104.5 The Zone. Brent Doherty with you on a beautiful day in the Music City. Happy Friday. We are broadcasting live from 6th and Peabody. Our friends Old Smoky, Tennessee Moonshine, are here. If you are in the building, please let everyone know listening how many of y'all are here. Go Titans. Let's do this. Let's do this.
Yeah, I was going to say, you got to give them a little bit more direction
Mayor.
on that one. Yeah.
You do it.
Well, I guess this. I'm going to tell you exactly how we're going to do it.
Here we go.
All right, y'all, listen up. Hold on. One time, man. We're going to get a Titan up on 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so you just warm them up a little bit.
There you go. Here's the beautiful thing about what's going on here. Number one, they had no idea that Taylor Zarzar would be here, and he is here in the 3 o'clock hour. The new voice of the Titans, and we're going to talk Titans football with him. There is also going to be a special guest coming. Just wait, okay? That's all I can say right now. Just wait.
Just got
Is
to
that
hold
okay?
their horses. I think that's pretty cool.
I'm sure you can guess.
No, I can't. I'm
Didn't
a
you
bad
already
guesser.
tell everybody on social media?
Nah, well, okay, so.
We might have.
Yeah.
Actually, I did.
You did.
Oh, you
Yeah,
did.
Dawn did, yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
The
She got
instructions.
excited, but you know.
The instructions for the 3HL tweet were the first round pick will be on the show today,
Okay.
Huh.
whether
I
by
guess-
phone or maybe he'll be here.
No, along with a special guest. I think along with
Well, listen,
a special guest.
you've been
Taylor.
making fun of all of us for not telling everybody who the first pick was when you and everyone knew who the first pick was. So
yeah, that is true.
And
Y'all,
it was
Don
a beautiful pick.
Davenport is here, y'all.
Let's go.
What up, Babsy?
Happy Friday. Man, I woke up the happiest I've been in a long time as a Titans fan. I'm just saying, the happiest I have been.
So we can, we can split like our time, mental time and energy between journalists, sort of, and fan, right?
Right, yeah.
Your reaction
I
yesterday.
never claimed to be the big J.
No, your reaction yesterday was amazing. You went running through the club level at the Titans draft party last night.
Got a franchise quarterback, y'all. How about that?
That is definitely true. Slay Dog is here, y'all.
I'm in the building. I'm in the building. What's happening, good people? What's happening?
Slay, new day for the Titans era.
I'm going to be honest, y'all. You know, like Babsy said, you know, when you roll over, your feet hit the ground, you got a lot to be thankful for.
That's right.
When you get the number 1 pick, you got
Yes.
a little bit more to be thankful for when your feet hit the ground. I'm telling you that right now. So, for all the people that were on the wagon, like I was, a little unhyped,
No,
a little
you had, like,
wavering. But since
you
my
had an
thing-
arm and a leg
Yeah,
in.
I was hanging in there.
Yeah.
It took a minute.
But, all right, man, I'm going to tell you this. After listening to the number 1 draft pick speak and the stories combined, sign me up on the Cam Ward train. It's
There you
going
go.
down, baby.
Y'all, please welcome to 3HL. Titans play-by-play man Taylor Zarzar joins us now at the table. Taylor, what's up?
tighten up, man, fired up to be here.
How's it going, brother?
It feels like the Titans are 1-0 in 2025.
So, to Slay's point, this kind of got me yesterday when the number 1 pick tweeted out, "Forever humble because I know what it's like to be at the bottom."
This guy-
How powerful is that?
this guy has been through it. I mean, you think of what he went through in high school, the fact that no FBS program offered him a scholarship. He's running the wing tee offense in high school.
Crazy.
No one thinks this guy can throw a football. Incarnate Word, near where he lived, said, okay, you can come play for us. And this guy was phenomenal there. Then all of a sudden, programs across the country start paying attention, and he decides to leave his home state of Texas and go to Washington State and become this prolific passer. And then last year, he had a chance to either go in the draft or go be the man at the University of Miami. And I think all Titans fans are excited that he went to the University of Miami.
That's right.
Because now he becomes the #1 pick in the draft. And Babs is right. The Tennessee Titans have a franchise quarterback. They have the leader of their football team is what they have.
3HL 104.5 The Zone, broadcasting live from 6 in Peabody today. We will be here until 6 o'clock. You are free to join us. You're more than welcome to come by here. Again, may have a special guest here around 4 o'clock, so stay tuned for that. Taylor Zarzar's here as well. The Titans have put a VIP section together where they are including members of the mosh pit that will be in the new stadium into this VIP section. Wow. They're taking care of their drinks and food. So that's cool. But if you're not involved in that, you can come here wide open here at 6 in Peabody. How cool was it, y'all, that Warren Moon was a part of today's press conference and officially gave Cam Ward the #1 that had been retired by the Titans and Oilers franchise?
In person. Like Cam said, he took time out of his schedule and his day to be there in person for me to give me this. You know, he said, I'm so grateful. I mean, you don't see that very often.
No, you don't. And I love what Warren said. He said, no one will ever wear #1 as a Houston Oiler.
Yeah.
He said, I am connected to this franchise, and I am giving this number for the Tennessee Titans to Cam Ward. And you could tell how special it was to Cam. He called him weeks ago and said, man, I want this number. And it takes some confidence to do that. You know, call an all-time great
Hall of Famer.
Yeah, Hall of Famer who is years older than you, that played in a different generation. And, you know, at 22 years old, to call up somebody like that and say, hey, excuse me, sir, I'd like your number. That takes some confidence. You have to have great leadership, and you have to have a lot of swagger. But I'll tell you this, Slay, you said it already, like, he doesn't seek attention, Cam Ward.
Right.
You know, like, listen, and Travis Hunter is acting like the next Deion Sanders, and I'm sure Jacksonville fans are fired up, but that guy wants attention, obviously.
Yeah.
Cam Ward doesn't care about the attention. He doesn't care, you know, that he doesn't need to wear some fancy suit. He wears a family suit. Yeah. He doesn't need all the clicks. He wants, but he is a confident guy. No question about it.
No question about it. I think when you look at it, though, this is the thing. We always talk about guys that are the mold, or if you had a model of a point guard or a quarterback or a defensive back or a hockey player, anybody, a goalie that you can come up with, you put them in a time lapse and a time capsule, and you create one. Just outside of the player, when you're talking about blue collar, what you explained with Cam Ward right then and there is everything that Nashville embodies. Not just Nashville, but the Titans community embodies also.
That's a great point.
The only thing you're going to see flashy with the Titans fans is the long chain that the chain gang usually makes, and they'll be out in the mosh pit at some point. But that's the only flash. All of the history since the Titans have been here have been about 3 yards, a cloud of dust, getting what you can get, getting out of the way. But it's not high-stepping. It's not what you just explained, and that works for some. But this is the mode that the Titans are. I think he was created for this spot. It's as simple as that.
It's a lunch pail city. He's a lunch pail guy. I love that analogy. Don, what did you think about what Cam Ward said, like when asked about what Taylor was talking about, like calling Warren Moon and asking for the number? He's like, all he can say is no. Like,
I mean,
shoot your shot, right?
Right? He's going to go out and say, okay, I might have a whole lot of holes on this team. I might not have the greatest wide receiving core, but guess what? All you can do is try. Like, all you can do is play your best to make your teammates better. Like, this guy's mentality is so simple and so off the charts that I love every bit of it. And people want to talk about, the non-flashy part. There's all these tweets going around because he's walking off the airplane with headphones with the cord that's still attached to his phone. I'm like, this is my guy, because you guys know I'm always walking around with my headphones and my cord attached. I don't like those whole, wireless fancy things nowadays. I'm like, this is my guy right here. I love it.
I have been in Charlotte, North Carolina for a long time, and I did a sports radio show there similar to the one that you guys have been doing and crushing it for years. And I was there when the Carolina Panthers had the #1 pick in the draft, and they selected Cam Newton with the #1 pick.
Wow.
And I have a really good relationship with him. He was always really good to me. But Cam Newton took all the oxygen in the room and all the oxygen in the community, and he loved the attention that came with it. Still does. The hats, the fashion, all of it. And I think to a degree his teammates resented that over time, all of the attention that he got. The other thing about Cam Newton is that it was hard to defend how much he knew about the playbook and how willing he was to learn it. He was going to play Cam Newton football.
Yeah.
The difference with this guy, Cam Ward, this #1 pick, this guy is all about ball. You're going to hear a lot of comparisons. Dan Orlovsky was talking about Steve McNair. You've heard Brett Favre. You've heard Patrick Mahomes. You may think I'm crazy for what I'm about to say. He reminds me a little bit of Larry Bird. Larry Bird was the most confident guy on the court, and he was a great trash talker on the court, but he was never about any attention off of the court. That's what this guy's like. This guy, if you were at the University of Miami in their practices last year, Gino Torretta is one of my best friends. Babs will tell you that. He would come back and say, man, this guy talks trash with the DBs. This guy gets in your face in practice. But when practice is over, he wants no attention. He doesn't want it to be about Cam. He wants it to be about the team. I love that.
Our draft coverage presented by Parman Tractor and Equipment. Download the 104.5 The Zone app. Take us anywhere so you don't miss anything. Titans Radio will be broadcasting live again tonight at 6 o'clock. We've got you until then, again at 6th and Peabody. Every selection you'll hear on 104.5 The Zone. Thanks to Parman Tractor and Equipment, your authorized Takahashi excavator and track loader dealer. For more information, visit 1045thezone.com. When we come back, more about Cam Newton and the Tennessee Titans.
Cam Ward.
What did I say? Cam Newton?
Yeah.
You got me on Cam Newton.
That's my fault.
Cam Ward and the Tennessee Titans. Cam Newton is not here, although we did see him in Vegas at the blackjack table, but that's a separate story.
Oh, yeah. No, at the
Real bad.
No,
Craps.
Craps.
Yeah. It wasn't going well for him. Just saying.
Cam Ward and the Tennessee Titans. Also, what's left for round 2? We'll talk about maybe a direction there. Stay tuned. 3HL 104.5 The Zone. I want to tell you about my friends at Gupton Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Maybe you've been thinking about that next new vehicle. My guys at Gupton have you covered. Whether you're looking for a new or pre-owned vehicle, they have you, man. And maybe this is the weekend for you to get it done. Not maybe, it is. If you've been thinking about that next new vehicle, make sure you include Gupton in your process. If you haven't started the process, make sure you start there. And you'll end there. Gupton Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. These guys are there ready to help you get into whatever vehicle you're looking for, whether you need more space, maybe you need better gas mileage, maybe you need something a little bit cheaper. Just let them know what you're looking for. They will point you in the right direction. You'll be able to take your test drive, and then you'll go inside. They will help make the numbers work, and it'll be that easy. 3450 Tom Austin Highway, beautiful Springfield, Tennessee. That's Gupton Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, about 30 minutes from downtown Nashville. Check them out online. GuptonMotors.com is the website. All the dealership information is there, the inventory, all the specials they have going on in the month of April, including the employee pricing. Check it out. GuptonMotors.com. That's Gupton Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. 3HL 1045, the Zone Friday edition, broadcasting live from 6th and Peabody, thanks to the Tennessee Titans and our friends at Old Smoky. Tennessee Moonshine. We'll be here until 6 o'clock. Taylor Zarzour is with us now. Taylor, always good to see you, brother. I want to ask you something before we get back into the Titans.
You want to ask me why you have 3 kinds of moonshine in front of you?
I would,
and Slay and Babs don't?
I would argue that those are closer to you than me, but that's okay. I'll take it.
It's a great question.
I'll take it.
Now, I've got this nice, Titans Blue flask in front of me. That's for later.
You have anything in there?
Not yet, but there's 3 bottles of moonshine sitting in front of you, Zarzour.
We told you that yesterday, Babs, that since we mentioned what Airstreams are, that you would see them like all the time now. There's one right outside.
Yep. True. We live in the Matrix.
That is definitely true. What I wanted to ask you, all your years doing SEC football, Taylor, what is your favorite venue in the SEC?
Man, I go back and forth on that. I'll tell you the best game I've ever done, A&M LSU 7 overtimes, 2018, changed the overtime rules. One of Babs's best buddies and mine, Chris Button, was 8.5 months pregnant on the field for that game. Crazy.
She was about to have the baby.
About to have the baby. Yeah.
I remember that one well.
There was like a picture of her sitting down at one point. I'm like, girl, I feel you.
Yes, right? That's pretty wild. Man, I go back and I'm really not trying to like play it down the middle here. I'll pick one. Sanford Stadium, when it's rocking, is incredible. What they've done in Tuscaloosa is amazing. I love Neyland Stadium, and I've called some. How about this? I have never called a Tennessee loss. Tennessee is 15-0 when our crew calls a Tennessee game.
We need you on deck a little bit more then.
Yeah, that's good information.
Now, I mean, especially this year.
Some of those games,
we can make things happen.
Some of those games, anyone could have called them, and Tennessee was going to win. But I mean, there were some big time games where they were underdogs and won. And I love Neyland Stadium, right on the river. It's an unbelievable backdrop.
That is. I see the balls out there. What's up, balls? Yeah.
I got to tell you, and thinking about it just out loud right now, I would probably say Neyland is number one.
And you wouldn't be wrong.
But Williams-Brice Stadium on a Saturday night.
That's
underrated.
That's
really good in Columbia.
Yeah, even when they're bad, even when they're really bad, that's a great place to watch a game.
Their fans always outperform the performance on the field.
That's right.
I love Shane Beamer, though. They're turning it around there in Columbia.
The Titans make Cam Ward the highest drafted quarterback in franchise history. I saw some quotes from Justin Mello with Titans Size, did a great piece where he went after some of his former wide receivers in college. Restrepo said this about Cam Ward, quote, "You'd be in the huddle thanking the Lord that he's touching the ball on every play. He's just an absolute game changer as an athlete. The game never felt over because we had Cam under center."
And he proved it last year. Miami's defense stunk last year. He felt like he had to outscore the other team, and Miami had to score every time they touched the football, and he broke every season record in the University of Miami history along the way, and he immediately became the leader of the team. When they were in the swamp last year, early in the season, that guy was the leader of the Miami football team, and he may not have known everybody's name yet. That's what he'll be here in Nashville. Especially given what he's been through these last few years. The stage won't be too big for him. The thing that gives me the most confidence about him, Brent, is you look at a guy like Bryce Young, who's the #1 pick in the draft 2 years ago with the Carolina Panthers. If his first read wasn't open, that guy panicked.
Right.
You look at Tua Tagovailoa with the Dolphins. When his first read isn't open, he gets injured. This guy, when his first read isn't open, he's better with the second and the third read. Either he throws an absolute dime when he checks off the first and goes to the second read, or he takes off and he gets yardage. When he has to improvise and what he was hoping was open isn't open, he's maybe his best. That is really rare for a young guy. Dan Orlovsky on ESPN did a great breakdown of that last night before the draft. He compared him to Steve McNair because McNair was so good at that.
Right.
This guy at a young age already understands ball, understands coverage a lot better than most people his age would. 10, 15, 20 years ago, you had to understand ball like this. But in recent years, you've seen so many more athletes get drafted at the beginning of the draft. Jaden Daniels is a great example in Washington. Let's just use this guy's athleticism, and then we'll teach him along the way. Cam Newton was an example of that as well. Johnny Manziel, they hoped would be an example of that in Cleveland. He wasn't.
Just took him a while.
This guy understands ball immediately. Like he's a lab rat. He loves watching tape. Like he has so much more knowledge of the game than somebody that typically would be in his position.
I want to further that point because I love that Dan Orlovsky piece, and you can find it on social media. Just search him out and then look through his tweets or whatever. But the McNair comparisons that we talked about, this is the best one that I think that kind of mirrors what McNair was in the pocket, okay? Just in the pocket. But you see it on this tape that Dan Orlovsky put out there. His ability to shed potential sacks without looking like he's even trying. Like his eyes are still down the field, and he's just shrugging off 300-pound linemen and keeping the play alive. That's what McNair was great at. That's what you see in this tape that Orlovsky put out.
Agreed. I think when you look at it, that's one of the things that he can continue to grow from, too. Because once you get to the pro level, it's a little bit different as far as that timer and that going off. And then that's also up to Coach Callahan to put him in the positions where when you are breaking out of the play and you're extending plays, are you going to your strong side? You know what I'm saying? Do you have the guys over there that you're comfortable with? That's why it's going to be important also what we do in the rest of this draft to put guys around them. Because of that, being able to extend, you don't want them just out there in the middle of nowhere, you know, with nobody to help. You know, and that's knock right on Calvin Ridley, Lockett, anybody else that's right there with him. So it's going to be interesting to watch him.
It stood out to me today, too, during his press conference when it was, you know, something about him as a player on the field and what's maybe underrepresented or underappreciated. And he said how well I see space on the field. And that stood out to me, too. And he talked about that, how it happened, because he said, I came from the wing T offense. You know, I came from nothing, basically. Right. I came from having to really learn the nuances of, you know, offense and football and all of that. So he's dove into that and is really big on learning and listening to people, to coaches, to people who are going to make him better. And he pointed that out at Wazoo, too, that was kind of the place where he was like, oh, it clicked. I get it. Film this, that, you know, which we see a lot with these college players. A lot of times it's like, okay, they hit as a sophomore and it's like, well, what changed? Oh, I got it. You know, I got how to learn the game and listen to those around me that knew it better. And that stood out to me today on Cam's presser, his willingness to do that.
3HL 104.5, the Zone broadcasting live from 6th and Peabody. You can come down here. We'll be here until 6 o'clock. You can watch the broadcast tonight. Titans radio coverage begins at 6 as well. Brent Doherty, Don Davenport, Ron Slay, and Taylor Zarzour with us. Here's another quote from another former wide receiver who may end up a Titan. I don't know. Kyle Williams played with him at Washington State. He said, quote, and we've been talking about this. Don, you were talking about this, having been on the sideline for a game. He comes off a little nonchalant, but that's just a testament to how confident he is in his game and his preparation. I love that quote.
I called it not overly emotional, but nonchalant's a good way to put it.
But to Taylor's point earlier, like the way the defense played, and you've talked about this too, he was under constant pressure every drive to score.
Yeah.
I mean, no matter where they were in the game, whether they're up 14 or down 14, he's under pressure to score. So you've got to keep kind of a mental edge, right? Yep. And we've talked about this. Keep your head while everyone else is losing theirs, and you'll separate yourself.
And even when you do have an opportunity to lose your head, it's also the perception, the optics of things mean a whole lot for the guys that are looking at you, especially when you're a rookie stepping into this situation. But guys with their heads at you, because we've seen it in the years past, when something go wrong, not only was the quarterback losing their head sometime, the coach was as well. So it should be growth in both of those. And I think that's something that Cam has a fast pass on, in my opinion.
The biggest thing is, in the NFL, the quarterback, you have to have a star. And you could say that about the NFL more than Major League Baseball, more than the NBA. You know, if you have a great starting pitcher, it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be a playoff team.
Right.
You got a great point guard, it doesn't mean you're going to be a playoff team. If you have a great quarterback, you will be a playoff team. Like, that's the way it works in the National Football League. And if you don't, and you could crush the rest of the roster, you could have the best interior defensive lineman or pass rusher and or protector at left tackle. You could have a great receiver.
Yes.
But if you don't have a star at quarterback, then it's going to take years and probably a few regimes to overcome that. Look, if Mike Borgonzi, the general manager of the Titans, were here right now, he would tell you we have more to do. I mean, to the points you guys are making, there are more spots to fill on this roster, but they filled the biggest spot last night.
And we'll get into that. What do you do with pick 35? Is the draft pool, the current player availability, to the point where you can move down and still get a great guy that you want and pick up an additional pick, or do you stick and pick at 35? We will talk about that. One more former player quote from our guy Justin Mello with Titans Eyes. Samuel Brown Jr. quote about Cam Ward. He knows how to demand greatness out of you while he's still being a respectful teammate. He just knows how to push the right buttons to get the best out of you. We've talked a lot about this harsh leadership style, but I think that's a great quote. He knows how to demand greatness out of you while still being a respectful teammate.
Yeah, understanding how to read a room, it sounds like to me. If you walk in here and you know you got all Titans fans and you're representing the Baltimore Ravens, you probably gonna get everybody in here to boo you.
Like Bert?
It's like that's just part of it, but that's what you need. Ain't that right, Bert?
Bert's wearing the Ravens shirt.
Yeah, I mean, there he is, fist in the air.
We don't care about no.
At least it's Derek Henry.
Titans fans, how we feel about the Ravens? Yeah, I mean, it's all about reading the room. That's what you want. So yeah, that's going to be important. Also, delivery.
Yeah.
You know, delivery when you're talking to, you can't talk to everyone the same, and that's a part of it too. I think you got a grip on that. There you go, Babs.
I mean, you got to know how to coach a guy.
There you go.
What did Cristobal say? He's a demanding SOB.
Yes. Yeah, and his coaches
and then
that
a lot
love
of
it.
good stuff after it.
Yes.
Yeah.
But a lot of times you don't want 53 of those because as a coach, your head will pop off. Exactly.
Yeah.
So.
But don't you think if he comes with this matter-of-fact leadership style, like, I'm here to win, point blank, that's it. Jump on with me. This is where we're going. Don't you think that these hungry veterans that have been losing want to be a part of that and will take him under their wing and be more than one guy, right? Like, be a force.
I tell you what.
Like, either you jump on or you don't.
If I'm in that room, one or two things are going to happen. And Taylor and Babsy, you tell me what you guys think about this. But, Yoro, if that happens with me, if I'm the guy in that room, one is, hell yeah, come on in. Take some of this responsibility and burden off of me. Yeah.
You're talking about Big Jeff, aren't you?
Yes, absolutely. Matter of fact, you carry some of this. The second would be, we're going to be able to weed guys out as well. So the ones that can't take that criticism or that constructive criticism or raise the tide so we all can get to that level are the ones that you're going to see doing like this. And that's drowning. If you see my little hands in there like this is me drowning. Somebody help. And guess what? We can't help. We got to move on. So, Coach, y'all get that together.
It is a great point about Tony Pollard, about Jeff Simmons,
yes,
about Calvin Ridley. I wish we had a camera on Calvin Ridley when this pick was made last night.
Yeah.
Can you imagine his reaction to that?
Yes.
Look, I cannot wait to call some games for the Tennessee Titans. The only bad part about the draft is that it's so far away from the season. When this happens, like last night, I mean, it felt like the Titans won a game in Nissan Stadium.
Right?
I am ready to call some football for the Tennessee Titans.
Yes.
I mean, the scene on the field last night when the pick was made, like, we were up in the club level, and the crowd was great, but prior to the pick, they were putting signs up like, we want you on the field. Like, we want that to be the draft party and all this. And a lot of people went down to the field. It was packed down there. The club level was great. Your reaction was great, Don, Slay, and me high-fiving.
Do we have video of Babs' reaction?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we did. Yes, we did.
Babs was hyping up the crowd on her own.
Unfortunately, there's always video.
But on the field, you're right, and this is what I was thinking. It felt like somebody just threw a game-winning touchdown pass.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It really did.
The reaction was incredible. And so, we're looking forward to it. It's got to be great for you, too, like taking over as play-by-play guy for the Tennessee Titans, and you get the number one pick, a quarterback, first time in franchise history, and you get to be a part of the growth of that, right?
I don't know what anybody's talking about with this struggle last year. I don't know what you're. I'm not familiar.
You weren't here for that.
I wasn't here for any of that. Yeah,
You're 0-0.
That's right. That's right. Mike is a legend. I love the guy. We will celebrate Mike Keith on the air forever. I want to name it the Mike Keith Room in the new stadium.
I love that
we're
idea.
Broadcasting
I
from
love that idea.
In a couple of years.
That's got some traction too. You've mentioned that on our show a couple of times, and I hear people saying that they would love that.
But to your point, it does. It feels like Titans 2.0. You have a second-year head coach who is a mastermind offensive coordinator for one of the best, 2-3 best quarterbacks in the National Football League in Joe Burrow. You have a brand new general manager who helped create the current dynasty in the National Football League, going to 5 Super Bowls.
Right.
You have a new stadium that is going to be everybody's jealous of this new stadium across the country. Why can't we do that? We're going to have that here. There's so much energy right now and momentum, and you're right, Brent. I'm pumped, man. I am 0-0, but I'm ready to be 1-0.
Second and third round coming up tonight. You can hear Titans radio coverage beginning at 6 o'clock as the Titans have pick number 35. Do they acquire a third round pick? Do they actually have multiple picks tonight? That'll be one of the questions we want to see answered. Or do they stick and pick at 35? Maybe they give Cam Ward a weapon, maybe a Luther Burden.
Maybe they give Big Jeff a weapon.
Hello.
Maybe an edge lineman from Boston College, maybe a receiver from Iowa State. Like, there are options there. That'll happen tonight. The Green Bay draft has looked amazing on television. It really has.
And I feel like I have to eat my words because I was so negative about it because I'm like, it's hard to get to. Who wants to go there, right?
Nobody's
you heard Cam Ward, he's like, it's cold as beep here.
You were right with what you said, but everybody that's ever been to Wisconsin was there last night. Unbelievable atmosphere.
I've got numbers on that.
And I'm just gonna and I'm just gonna tell you this. It is, and I love that the National Football League years ago decided to move the draft around. It's a great idea. That was the second best on-site draft I've ever seen last night.
You think so? Yeah.
The second best.
Nobody's ever going to beat Nashville.
No one will ever touch Nashville, Tennessee. No chance.
To the point where there are rumblings around the league that they're going to bring it back here.
They have to.
Yeah.
They have to. It was too good.
Green Bay population, in case y'all are wondering, Green Bay population, 105,744 people. That is their population. The draft attendance was 205,000 people.
Wow, they doubled up.
So to put into perspective, okay, I'm going to name off some cities around us that are bigger than Green Bay. And keep in mind, Green Bay has an NFL franchise, okay? Huntsville, Alabama, 225,564 people. Green Bay, 105, okay? Chattanooga, 187,030. Bigger than Green Bay.
What up, Chat Town?
Clarksville, 180,716 people.
Hey, Clarks, Vegas.
Bigger than Green Bay. And Murfreesboro, y'all, 165,430 people, all bigger than Green Bay. But props to Green Bay for being able to keep hold of an NFL franchise, that storied franchise that even if you're not a fan, you respect, right?
Yeah.
But in today's world, a city with 105,000 people has a professional sports franchise.
Have you ever been there?
Yes.
It's like
Sunday night Bears-Packers.
Oh man, that's great.
Right?
That is, it's really like putting an 80,000 seat stadium in the middle of a Green Hills neighborhood. It really is. It's like,
but not as nice as Green Hills.
Not as nice as Green
Can you imagine
Bay.
the traffic?
Definitely Green Hills over Green Bay.
Yeah.
But it's just a bunch of neighborhoods, and then all of a sudden there's this stadium. It's just wild.
All right, let's do this. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, who is still available at 35? All right, let's talk about that and talk about the direction with which this franchise needs to go moving on from round one. 3HL broadcasting live from 6 in Peabody. We'll be here until 6 o'clock. Thanks to our friends at Old Smoky, Tennessee Moonshine, and the Tennessee Titans. There will be a special guest involved in this building. Stay tuned for that. 3HL 104.5 The Zone.
DickensSupply.com is the website. Dickens Turf and Landscape Supply. Thinking about that lawn as we head into that season. They have all the advice for you. Trey Hartsook is here with more.
Hey, man, yeah, Brent, I'll tell you, it's the time of year to where right now we are seeing a lot of weeds, right? A lot of clover, a lot of dandelions, a lot of henbit, stuff that we do not want in that lawn because, hey, it takes away from our green PCT that we planted in the fall. So, hey, don't let that stuff take over your lawn this spring. Stop into a Dickens Turf and Landscape Supply. We can get you a great selective herbicide that you can go out in your lawn, spray on those weeds, and get those things out of there because I'm here to tell you, nothing kills a great lawn like some random weeds. We do not like that. They're not our friend. And, hey, maybe you have weeds out there. You don't know what they are. You don't even know if they are weeds. Take some pictures, bring them in. We love to weed ID them for you and get you exactly what you need to get them taken care of. Conveniently located in Aldermill, Tennessee. Our locations in Nashville, Hendersonville, Murfreesboro, Bellevue, Brentwood, Lamar, Mount Juliet, and Franklin. If you can't get a hold of us, check us online, DickensSupply.com.
On 104.5 this whole Friday edition, which is what? Slay Dog?
Get Friday!
Good place to do that. 6 at Peabody. We have a bunch of moonshine on the table, which could get dangerous later. I don't know.
I was told it's free reign for us.
Yeah, I was looking at this one. So
the bosses might frown upon this.
Taylor needs to know this. Taylor Zarzour with us, play-by-play man for the Tennessee Titans. You need to know this. So former Titan Mark Mariani, we named him Moonshine, and that took off. And the reason why I came up with Moonshine was I didn't want to call him White Lightning. I wanted to be a little different than that because that was a little too obvious. So I just went Moonshine.
Did you give him the Moonshine name?
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was you that gave it to him. You started that.
I take full credit for it, yes.
Oh,
Pro Bowl
man.
hero, by the way.
Pro Bowl hero.
Look, Zarzour, you already know. You're already on it.
His record in the Pro Bowl for return yardage will never be broken because they're never going to play the game again.
Correct.
Do you remember he was so pissed because back then the winning team would get like money reward or whatever, and he's like, I'm with all these guys that don't care about the money. They're like, we're not trying to win. We're just here or whatever. And he's like, no, guys.
It made a difference. Yeah.
He's like, we need to win. I want that little extra change.
I love it.
He's awesome. Are we going to talk about the second round?
Let's do it. What do you do at 35? Do you draft? Do you stick and pick? Here are some of the best available players, and I'll start with quarterbacks, even though they're not going there. But Shedeur Sanders, what a draft story yesterday, and they turned the entire broadcast on ESPN into Shedeur Sanders.
It was so annoying.
Which was very annoying.
Yeah.
But anyway, he's still there. Jalen Milroe, Tyler Shuck, which is actually Greg Cosell. Remember, Babs, yesterday we asked Greg Cosell, who is your second favorite quarterback in terms of tape?
Yep.
And he said Tyler Shuck from Louisville.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. So we'll see how all that plays out.
I said, why?
He's
I did not.
He's 6'5", Dawn.
I know. Dawn, he has traits. I'm like, all right, Cosell.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
All right, here's where it gets interesting. Okay, wide receivers. Luther Burden, Missouri.
Yes.
Okay, so Cosell and any draft analyst you talk to will tell you he's one of the top 2 receivers in the draft in terms of talent. His ability to catch and go, yards after catch. Every NFL team, every NFL offensive coordinator wants a guy that can score from anywhere on the field. That's that guy. Why has he fallen?
Well, we have the perfect person to ask him about him here in Taylor, because I want to say you've probably worked like 10.
12.
12. Okay, I was close. Yes, 12 games with Luther Burden. So tell me what you think about him, because people don't understand, like, we get an awesome inside view with coaches, and for the most part, as long as they trust you, they're very honest with you.
Absolutely. On Fridays.
Since yes, on Fridays. Since you've been in the SEC for so long, these coaches know you well, and tell you things that they know are not going to get out, right? But because of that, you have an inside look to if those rumors and some of the things said about Luther, maybe nationally, are true or not.
Slay, let me tell you this. This guy comes from East St. Louis. I mean, a hard part of town in East St. Louis, Missouri. And he was one of the greatest high school players ever in the state of Missouri. He came to Mizzou, and he was a terrific 3-year player there. But people worry about whether or not he has a motor and he's going to be a problem. I'll tell you this. I know Eli, to her point, I know Eli Drinkwitz, their coach, really well. I actually just bumped into him at Alyssa Lang's wedding a few weeks ago.
That's really funny.
And we hung out for a while.
Drink was at the wedding?
He was not at the wedding. He was also at the same resort.
Okay, that's hilarious.
Yes.
Hey, I bet Drink came and partied with y'all.
He did. He did, and he brought out his credit card, which I had never seen before.
Beautiful.
But anyway.
That's beautiful.
This guy pulls no punches.
Yeah.
I mean, he is brutally honest as a human, and he will tell you how he feels about his players, other coaches, and he's made some enemies by being that way. This guy knows Luther Burden better than anybody. Luther Burden was an exceptional teammate for Missouri for 3 years.
Yeah.
He did everything that was asked of him. He was a terrific locker room guy. Look, all that's being said about him right now, I think, is unfair. I think that they are looking at, well, there might be some people in his family that have their hand out. And look, this is their chance, his chance to change his life. And I think there's a lot of people in his family that acknowledge that. But I don't worry about any of that. I've been around him a lot in the last 3 years. This guy is somebody you can count on. He's an exceptional slot receiver. He'll make a difference immediately, maybe even in special teams too.
Yeah.
I'd be great if the Titans decided to do that. But as Babs was saying, and you were saying a minute ago, Brent, I think the Titans are going to listen hard to what other teams have to say about that 35th pick.
Yeah.
I think the Titans want as many picks as possible, and so they'll have the phones open and listen to what other teams have to say.
I don't think anybody will be surprised if they move off of 35 to acquire more picks, because, I mean, they've told you that, and they've stuck to what they've told you. They told you we want to build through the trenches. That's what they've done in the offseason, right? Like, they told you, we want the franchise player at one. They got that. So they're going to be able to do that. Greg Cosell yesterday, NFL Films, we asked him about Luther Burden, and this is what he had to say.
Well, if he's there at 35, I would take about 10 seconds to get the card up. Luther Burden has everything you want. I mean, he's a 3-level dimension. He may not be as terrifyingly explosive as someone like Jameson Williams, but he definitely can run. He can get on top of the defense. He's really good run after catch. He's not a small guy. I mean, we're talking about a guy that's over 200 pounds. So it's not like he's a quick little guy. I mean, he's got good size. Again, what his numbers were this year, given their whole situation with the offense, that doesn't matter to me. It's just watching his tape and seeing his trades. And, to me, he's he's worthy of a first-round pick. But, again, I don't know why, quote-unquote, he dropped. I spoke to someone. There's no issue with him as an individual, character-wise, none of that. So I can't speak to that, Brent. But if Luther Burden is there at 35, I would take him in a heartbeat.
Isn't it funny about the draft and the drama that goes along with the draft that any little report, true or false, could just wildfire it? And everybody just, okay, I'm off that guy.
I hate that. And some of it's support staff, right? Family around you, girlfriend, something like that. Slade, we talked about this back in the day with basketball, at AAU basketball, and some of the family friends that jumped in and gave bad decisions or pushed for things that were not great. I mean, shoot, look at the Nico situation, right? That's another perfect example of it. And so I think that might be what's happening with Luther Burden. But, God, that skill set, I mean, you saw him do just stupid things on the field at Missouri.
I get the desire to trade back and acquire more picks, but if you can start the season with Ridley and Burden and Lockett and Cam Ward and those running backs and tight ends that we're getting better, it's hard to argue against that.
It is interesting to see tonight if they decide to go that route. Or, Jaden Higgins is another guy that's right there from Iowa State, who's more of a bigger, physical, outside receiver. Steve Smith, who to me resembles Luther Burden, by the way. Steve Smith prefers Jaden Higgins over Luther Burden. Wow. He has him ranked above him, which is kind of interesting.
Is it always like what you aren't? You always want, like, I always wanted curly hair growing up because I didn't have it.
Right.
Like, maybe that's where Steve's coming from.
Exactly. And then Donovan Ezeraku, we did a Mizzou-Boston College game, and this guy was a wrecker. He is a pass rusher in that game last year against Armand Minbu, who was one of the top offensive linemen taken in the draft. So I think those are a couple of names to watch here early on tonight.
As we continue through the show, we will allow you to rehear, if you already heard it, or hear it for the first time, Greg Cosell talking about Ezeraku. Also, Greg Cosell talking about Jaden Higgins. Greg Cosell talking about Landon Jackson, a potential guy there. And if you trade back, maybe Landon Jackson's still there. Maybe Trey Harris is a guy at Ole Miss.
That's the one I'm big on. I love Trey.
That you could pick up if you trade back. We've got all that coming up. Taylor, thank you for hopping on for the hour, man. It's great to have you in Nashville. Are you here for good?
This is my town. Hey. I cannot wait.
He's home.
I am home. That is exactly right. I went to Monell's earlier today and ate everything in the entire building. This is my town.
You definitely need a nap.
I am so fired up to be here. I know you're kicking me out because somebody that everybody wants to hear from is coming up in just a second.
Yeah.
Might be en route.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
It's a possibility.
He might be known for throwing piss missiles, right?
That's Coach Mac's favorite word.
Yes, we are anticipating. I guess we could go ahead and say it because it's coming up. Cam Ward will be here at 6th and Peabody in just a few minutes, so y'all make him feel welcome. Also, make Taylor Zarzar feel welcome, y'all.
Tighten up.
The new voice of the Titans.
3HL at 6 in Peabody. We'll be here until 6 o'clock. Open to the public. Y'all come down. We'll be here. Thank you. We'll be right back. 3HL, Cam Ward coming up. I want to tell you about our friends at United Structural Systems. They are a foundation repair and waterproofing company that has served the Middle Tennessee area since 1994. A lot of rain has been happening in this area, man. You might be having waterproofing issues. Some of the symptoms, standing water in your crawl space. Maybe you have musty odors, cracks in the basement floors, hardwood floors. Maybe they're cupping. Your house may be trying to tell you something. Putting off a moisture issue in your home is bad for your health. It could lead to more expensive repairs down the road. Our friends at United Structural Systems are here to help. More than 30,000 100% satisfied residential customers. They are ready to help you out. If you have some foundation repair or waterproofing work done, you also have the peace of mind knowing that USS provides an honest diagnosis and stands by their work and warranties. Homeowners trust USS. USS, keeping homes dry and stable. We guarantee our best. Call USS 615-488-7855. That's 615-488-7855. USS, serving Middle Tennessee, Southern Kentucky, and Western Kentucky. Online, USSTN.com.
Good afternoon. It is 4:01. I'm Joseph Bonanno live from 6th and Peabody. The Tennessee Titans first-round pick Cam Ward was introduced today at Ascension St. Thomas Sports Park, where he was surprised by Hall of Fame quarterback and Oilers legend Warren Moon, who unretired his number 1 jersey and offered it to Ward, who will wear it as the Titans' first ever number 1 overall pick. You can hear Cam Ward live here at 6th and Peabody coming up on 3HL. The second and third rounds of the 2025 NFL Draft get going tonight. The Titans scheduled to pick at number 35. You can catch all the Day 2 draft coverage with the Titans radio crew tonight starting at 6 p.m. following 3HL right here on The Zone and on Zone TV. For your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
HL 104.5 The Zone Friday edition NFL Draft going on. The number 1 pick, Cam Ward, is on his way here to 6th and Peabody. He will be here momentarily. We want to let you know that our coverage is brought to you by Parman Tractor and Equipment. Download the 104.5 The Zone app and take us anywhere so you don't miss anything. Titans radio coverage beginning at 6. Our coverage at 104.5 The Zone. Thanks to Parman Tractor and Equipment, your authorized Takahashi excavator and truck loader dealer. For more information, 1045thezone.com. We were talking about Luther Burden possibly being available at pick number 35. By the way, Brent Doherty, Don Davenport, and Ron Slay with you at 6th and Peabody. We will be here until 6 o'clock. Easton Freeze was with us on from A to Z Sports. Easton Freeze from A to Z Sports was on with us on Monday. And we asked him about Luther Burden. What if he is there at pick number 35? This is what he said.
Then it becomes Luther Burden, who they've done a lot of work with. There's a lot of questions about. If I had to guess today, I think Luther Burden is going to be available at 35, and I think he's going to be available again at 36, and it's going to make some people's heads explode, and I'm not looking forward to that part of it because I think it's going to happen.
I personally think they trade back from 35. I think you guys are in that boat too.
Yep.
But if Luther Burden is there,
I hope the heads explode. I want people's head to explode because I want them to be there and I want them to go grab them.
That's a Pro Bowl wide receiver, man.
I mean.
No, he's saying their heads are going to explode because they won't grab
because
him.
they won't take him. Because if he's there at 35,
later, I went back and was like, what's the head explode comment? And he's like, because they won't take him. I hope they prove me wrong, but they won't.
That's what he was saying. If he's there at 35, he will still be there at 36, meaning they won't take him.
Yeah.
And Titans fans' heads will explode.
I'm going to be one of them heads then.
Listen, I'm great with them moving back and getting a third-round pick and getting in that round. I am great with it. You have a lot of needs.
You do.
I need you to be able to fill some of those needs.
I can dig it.
I'm great with moving back.
Oh, I guess that's the price you got to pay when you digging yourself out the hole. So,
right.
Yeah, you got to pass on some.
Another wide receiver that could be targeted is a guy that Taylor Zarzour brought up, Jaden Higgins out of Iowa State. We asked Greg Cosell yesterday to break down Jaden Higgins' film.
One of my favorite guys. I did him last summer. I did him this year. He's over 6'4". He moves really well. He's not one of those just big, like, possession guys. There's some quickness to him. He has some vertical ability. You can line him up inside or outside. He's a guy that I've loved beginning from last summer. I just really, really like his tape a lot. And I'm really anxious to see where he goes. I probably like McMillan a little more and the kid from Arizona, but I don't think there's a huge difference between those two guys.
Which McMillan's gone.
Yeah.
He was drafted last night, so.
I had a couple of draft bets last night, and one of them was McMillan going in the top 10. Cash it, baby.
Cash it. Was another one Shedeur Sanders not going?
I didn't have Shedeur at all. I did have Todd Furman went under 2.5 quarterbacks in the first round. So that paid. And then wide receivers more than 2.5, over 2.5 wide receivers, which also paid.
Wow, you had a good night.
I did lose on Jackson Dart. Jackson Dart's over-under draft position last night was 25.5. We get to 25. We get to pick 25, and there's a trade.
He goes at 20.
Gotta do it.
This is what Mayor texted us.
Yeah.
Vegas. We always
Sometimes they know.
Well, Giants. What are the Giants doing, man?
I don't know. I'm not going to say a word. I think we all know where I stand on Jackson Dart. It's going to be fascinating to watch him, to see what he becomes in the league.
How about Jackson Dart and Jameis Winston in the same quarterback room?
It's beautiful.
Yeah, with Russ.
With Russ, who they've already said is
going to start.
Yes.
Which I love that, because you want to give Jackson Dart a chance to succeed in this league. You better not throw that guy out as a rookie, because he's not ready.
I'm just not trading back into the first round and giving up that kind of draft capital to take a player that I can't start.
And that's why you'll never understand who the Giants are.
See, no, I don't know, because I'm different. Because I wanted to draft Cam Ward and let him sit behind a super veteran guy.
You tell him that.
No, I'm not telling him that. Don't you dare tell him that.
You can tell him that here in just a second.
I just wanted to protect him. That's all.
Some of the other players. Savage brought this up yesterday. Some of the guys, maybe if you trade back, you could still get. What did Thomas Dimitroff tell us yesterday? You need a tight end to go with a young quarterback.
Yeah.
That makes him comfortable. Mason Taylor.
On that hill.
What about Mason Taylor from LSU?
Can you move back and still probably get him?
It's what it looks like on the draft boards.
Yeah.
But
it's going to be interesting to see how it play out, man.
These draft boards are crazy, though. Will Johnson was supposed to be a first-round corner, like a high first-round corner. So then you start getting stories about, well, he's got a toe, a shoulder, a knee, and he's still there.
I mean, the number 3 pick had something similar. He was still taking it.
Yeah.
What about him saying he want Lawrence Taylor number?
I love it.
I
love it. All right, let's do this.
My eyes.
Let's do this. Let's take a break. And when we come back, the number 1 pick is going to be here at 6th and Peabody, y'all. Cam Ward will join us next. Should I call him Cameron Ward?
You know what? We'll ask him.
That'd be the first question, probably, honestly. We'll do that when we come back. We're broadcasting live from 6th and Peabody. We appreciate you guys being here. Great crowd on hand. You can watch the Friday night version of the draft, the second and third rounds here if you want. Titans radio coverage begins at 6 o'clock. Our friends at Old Smoky Tennessee Moonshine helping out today. We appreciate that. Cam Ward next, y'all. 3HL 104.5 The Zone.
All right, want to tell you about Ferguson Home, our partners here on 3HL. FergusonHome.com. That's where you can bring your vision, where it all comes together for your home. Maybe you're a homeowner creating your dream space. Look no further than Ferguson Home. And I tell you what, we got to go to their amazing place in Mount Juliet. We had so much fun. You'll see some of those videos coming out. I found about, a million lighting fixtures, new toilets, new bathtubs, all the things that I want for my home. They have the best selection of bath, kitchen, and lighting for any of your home projects. And if you don't know where to start and how to get a beautiful finished project, let Ferguson Home help you out, or even just go visit the showroom and see what they can do for you. Book an appointment at your local showroom. They actually have 5 total. We're at the one at 401 South Mount Juliet Road in Juliet. It's right there in the Providence area. Let them help you out. Ferguson Home has the largest selection of products and top brands to help you finish with a finished product your client will love. FergusonHome.com. Ferguson Home. Bring your vision to them. That's where it all comes together.
People, what's happening now? Let me tell you, the real thing. Car accidents, they happen all the time, man, and they can be changed in an instant. That's your life. Just like your car can be rearranged, and you got to try to figure it out. A car wreck can throw everything off, your job, your bills, your peace of mind. Now, that's when you need our good friends over at Bart Durham Injury Law to make sure things are taken care of. You got to have a number on speed dial, and that number is 615-242-9000. 615-242-9000. That's when Blair Durham and the team, they kick in overdrive, and they get done what you can't get done. When that's them coming to fighting for folks in Tennessee, that's what they've been doing, making sure insurance companies pay up. No upfront costs, no waiting around, just real people making sure you get what you deserve. So if you've been injured and you need to make some amends, this is what you do. You call BDIL, that is Bart Durham Injury Law, 615-242-9000, and they're here 24/7 and ready to fight for you. 615-242-9000, BDIL.
3HL 104.5 The Zone Friday edition, broadcasting live from 6 in Peabody. We'll be here until 6 o'clock. Rounds 2 and 3 coming up tonight. Titans radio coverage begins at 6. Our coverage presented by Parman Tractor and Equipment. Download the 104.5 The Zone app. Take us anywhere so you don't miss anything. Again, Titans radio at 6. Our coverage on 104.5 The Zone. Again, brought to you by Parman Tractor and Equipment, your authorized Takahashi excavator and track loader dealer. For more information, 1045thezone.com. Y'all, we got a special guest at the table, on the stage.
It seems like they know who it is.
They know what's up.
The only quarterback taken #1 in this franchise's history, Cam Ward, y'all.
Yes, sir.
We already got the shirts. I love Cam Ward.
What's going on, man? How are you?
I'm doing good. Landing here this morning, but I've been loving it. I'm glad I'm here.
So, how much sleep did you get last night, Annie?
I only got an hour's sleep, but I'm full of energy right now. I'm good.
So, your reaction when the Titans officially called you and told you, hey, man, we're picking you, like it's on social media, but how good did that feel? What were you feeling?
I feel real good, especially to celebrate the moment.
Yeah.
With my family and friends who was there, my coaches who was there, who helped me get to the moment. I was excited. I wouldn't want to be with no other organization.
So, before we get too far into this, I need to ask you. So, do I need to introduce you as Cam Ward, or do I need to introduce you as Cameron Ward?
Cam cool.
Cam is cool.
Cam is cool.
What other nicknames do you have?
Cam or Bug. Them really the only two.
I like that. I love it, man. #1 pick. So what does it mean to you to play for this franchise? I know you spent some time with Warren Moon. That's got to be incredible. He's given you the #1 jersey to wear. I mean, let's start there. What does that mean to you, to be able to wear that #1 that was previously retired?
It means a lot, especially for him to take time, out of his day to travel all the way back here to Nashville, to bless me with the number. But I'm ready to go. I'm excited to, play for this organization, the trajectory that they have on the quarterback position. I'm just trying to be one of the greatest ones.
I love that you reach out to people, man, and that you care about the history, and the guys that have come before you. I think that's really cool. This one over here, we call her Babs. She has been on
Cam.
That's her name? Dawn Davenport is her name. But her middle name is Babette, so we call her Babs or Babsy.
Okay.
So Babs she was on the sideline for the Syracuse-Miami game. And she came away from that game saying, Cam Ward's the pick. I'm telling you, Cam Ward's the pick.
She's been new.
Yeah. Babs, what was it about him?
I was like stalking him on the sideline during that game. Like, how does he handle adversity? Let me watch it.
I mean, that was a crazy game.
It was, yes. But yeah, so I've been, for like the last 3 months, I've been like, Cam, I never wavered. Super excited to have you here in Nashville. So I want to talk to you about that demeanor, that calm demeanor. Your teammates talk about it all the time. Mario Cristobal talked about it, like nothing phases you. Has it always been like that? Were you like that as a kid growing up? Like, how are you so chill?
I think it's always, just been like that from, the journey I had to go through growing up, not being a highly recruited, player, having to work my way up to being the quarterback in the NFL. But, I've been blessed beyond measures. And, I'm excited that, I was one of the ones, to get out the mud and be a part of 1%.
No doubt. And I know these people at this table are a big part of that. Tell me what family members are here.
I got my parents with me, my sisters, my girlfriend. So
okay.
They've been a part of my journey the whole way.
There we go. Calvin and Patrice, hey, how are you guys?
How about that?
How about that? Crowd's loving your parents. What have they meant in your journey growing up, in your zero-star recruit and all the things that 8 million people have talked about? But what exactly have your parents given to you?
They given me everything, especially financially, time-wise. Just waking up early, driving halfway across Texas to get to camps, and so. I'm just hoping to repay them one day eventually. They never missed a game. They'll be at all my games. But they mean the world to me for real.
Slay, you want a boom boom room him?
Oh Lord!
I mean, it sounds like we leave it up to the people. So we put Cam in the boom boom room.
Okay,
hold on. Have you heard about the boom boom room, Cam?
Nah, but I'm open to it.
Okay.
I like that. Okay, so this how we're gonna jump in this thing, Cam. Now, the Boom Boom Room, we go into the Boom Boom Room, the door's locked behind us. The only way you can get out is if I open the door. But the way you get it open is you gotta tell and answer everything truthfully to the best of your ability. Do you agree to those terms?
All right, I got you.
Smiley, lock the door. Well, first of all,
hang on. The Eagles fans over here trying to take over.
That's what they're supposed to do.
Cam Ward going thumbs down.
Yeah, that's what they're supposed to do. There's all kind of distractions when you're in the Boom Boom Room. You got people walking outside, but we inside. We got ring cameras to pick all that up. We ain't got to worry about that. But this is what I'm telling you, Cam. You're in the Boom Boom Room right now, and we're going to take this a little quick. We're going to go at it. You know what I mean? You answer to the best of your ability. First and foremost, your biggest pet peeve.
Inconsistency.
I like that a lot.
Hell yeah.
I like that a lot.
What's not to like about that answer?
Yeah. Okay, so next, your guilty pleasure. For example, I need one when you were younger and one now. Me, for example, my guilty pleasure when I was little, I used to sneak into the cabinet in my grandma's house and drink some syrup late at night, hold it in my jaws, and then go lay back down and let syrup trickle down my throat. You know what I'm saying? But
what about
that was
smelling
me.
Nail polish?
Yeah, see, Babs, you're giving up too much of these guilty
okay.
pleasures. This was when I was little. You know what I mean? This is why I'm built like this. But Cam, what's your guilty pleasures when you were little and one now?
They've actually stayed the same.
Okay.
And it was always eating my mama's leftovers.
Mama's leftovers.
Did mama know you was getting them, though?
Yeah, like
Okay.
last week, actually wasn't me, but it ended up being my dog ate the leftovers. He jumped on the counter, grabbed it, but she blamed me because I used to do it so much.
That's real. And you accepted that responsibility. That's what's up. Don't blame the dog. It's on Cam.
Is there anything specific from Mom that you enjoyed the most?
Man, all her cooking. She got that southern cooking. It's all good.
Oh, you right at home, man.
You're going to fit in well.
All right, now, give me 5 people, dead or alive, that you could have dinner with and you're soaking up game. You're able to ask them questions and you're just being a sponge right there. 5 people, dead or alive, doesn't matter.
I would say 1 would be Kobe. 2, I'll have to say Steve McNair. 3, I'll probably say Martin Lawrence.
Marty Marr. That's his
guy.
Come on, man.
Literally,
Come
that's
on,
his
man.
guy right there.
Come on, that's what I'm talking about, Cam. You doing all right right now, man. That's 3. Give me 2 more.
4th one, there's a lot of people on this list, man.
But you only got 5. We had to set another dinner for the next 5, but
Got to.
these 5.
Let me see. I'll probably say Will Smith. I'll probably say
Yeah,
him.
like that.
And then 5th.
See, that's why it's the Boom Boom Room. It get a little hard in there. You don't never know what's going on. You got to be able to get out, though. You need a good 5th one now.
5th one, he got to be elite. Let me see.
Got to be elite. I like that. He got an elite dinner going on.
Hey, let's go. I was a big basketball guy growing up, so I'm gonna see how it was back in his day. I'm gonna go old school. I'm gonna go Larry Bird.
I like that. I like that a lot. So this is my next question for that one. And we're going to get you out of here. I got 2 more. We're going to get you on out of here. Football aside, because you was the number 1 pick, that means he is the best player in the world right now. Understand that. Okay, that's football. Basketball and baseball, if you had to rank them, which would rank ahead of the other, and could you have gone pro in those?
I'll put basketball ahead of baseball. If I was to go pro in one of them, I think I would last longer in baseball.
Okay. So would you? But if you in basketball, you need a big man. You throw it down to your boy. I get in there. Get a little.
Show me a little something.
Okay, that's all I was saying. All right. Last one, Cam. I'm gonna let you out of the Boom Boom Room. You've done a terrific job. How y'all think you're doing in the Boom Boom Room? Solid. I like it. Who or what gives you the motivation to meet your goals?
I'll say myself. I had to drink since I was a little kid. I've always put that expectation on myself. But I pray about it every night. I'm blessed, and I'll say myself for sure.
Love that. Soundtrack to your life. You got 3 songs or artists that can make the soundtrack to your life to get you out of the Boom Boom Room. Who is on that soundtrack?
3 artists. I'm gonna go Rod Wave for 1. My second one, I'll probably do J. Cole. And then my 3rd one, it's a lot of good ones right there.
Yes. In the home of the music.
I'll probably say I'd probably say Kodak Black.
I like that. There it is, man. Give him a round of applause. Smile and let him out of the boom boom room. It's good work right there, Cam.
I can't believe you said Martin Lawrence.
Man,
that's your guy.
Guess what, man? There's a connection already right there. You know what I'm saying?
That is outstanding.
Yeah, buddy. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay, how chill is he in the boom boom room? Most people aren't chill in the boom room.
Worked his area in the boom boom room. And now the only thing he got to do to be able to get back in, though, he got to bring my Dukes in there and let her get in the kitchen. And you know what I mean?
Yeah,
fix something up for us. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, he's going to push that.
Got to get that together.
Mama
Puffer,
knows
get that
all
together,
the secrets
Puff.
anyway, right? Yeah.
Cam Ward with us on 3HL, Babs.
I do have a question. You know, I'm not allowed to jump in the boom boom room, so I'm not allowed to ask those questions. But I want to talk about your leadership style because Coach Cristobal, you know, he's a little tougher, right? He's a little demanding as a coach. Some people don't love him, some people can't handle him, but he certainly demands the best out of his players, and he just spoke so highly of you. But this is the way he described you to us. He's a demanding SOB, but he demands as much or more from himself like no other. He just wants to win. The real good ones are uncomfortable to be around sometimes because they're restless. They don't care about anything but winning. But he can quickly go to likable, laughing, and his teammates respond to him like no other. Where does that come from, and how are you okay in your leadership style with, you know, the ones that are uncomfortable with you pushing?
I just think all the 3 stops I made in college, from, you know, UIW to Wazoo to Miami, and just also, you know, actually getting to know my teammates. And I think every year of my career, I've grown better as a person. I got a chance to, you know, just study the game more and get better each and every day. And also comes with, you know, just having unbelievable work ethic and confidence in yourself. That's something that I just think I was born with, you know, I was destined to do. But, you know, I'm happy that, you know, he said those good things about me because they are true. And I plan on doing the same things here with my teammates.
Speaking of teammates, have you talked to Big Jeff?
No, I ain't talked to Big Jeff yet.
Okay. All right.
I met a couple of guys today, but not Big Jeff.
I know, you're busy. You're shuffling around everywhere, that's for sure.
Who have you been able to meet so far?
Red, Tony Pollard, got a chance to meet Birch. T. Sweat, got a chance to meet him.
Yeah, that's a big dude right there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He is. That boy, actually, he an athlete, though.
He is.
Oh, yeah.
That boy, an athlete,
He got
though.
good feet, good hands, baby. Yeah.
Well, so her question about leadership, like, you said you've always kind of had that. Like, when you were a little kid and you're organizing, like, you know, football games in the neighborhood or basketball games or whatever, like, were you the guy organizing all that stuff? Have you always had that in you, that leadership characteristic?
Yeah, I think I've had, and I also grown, you know, throughout high school, college with that ability. Because you actually, I think you have to work at it being a leader, because you got to be able to understand your teammates. Not everybody come from the same, you know, background that you come from. And so I just think the more you get to know people, it'll work out for you.
That's one of the things that I wanted to ask you about. Got an opportunity to go over there and shake your parents' hands, you know what I mean, meet your fam, but giving back to the community that you engulfed in, whether it's here, whether it's Miami, back in Texas, Wazoo, wherever it may have been. How big is that for you to be able to reach out, you know, and when you visit these kids, to let them know that, you know what I mean, this story can be your story. And even if it doesn't reach that far or this high, you can still be on the same path and the trajectory be shooting up.
Yeah, that's really, you know, just I'll say a big inspiration, you know, to the kids who had to get it like I did, because not everybody, you know, get the opportunities, and you know, you got to understand that you got to maximize every chance you get. You know, that's what I did, and as soon as you realize that, you know, it's gonna pay off.
So Cam Ward with us on 3HL live at 6 in Peabody. I know you got a bunch of events to get to. We got you for another 5 minutes or so. And I know you've talked about this, and the storyline is out there, but it's a great one. So you're in high school, and you're running the wing tee offense, right? Like, you have all of these dreams and aspirations, like you talked about, to be a quarterback and all these things. You stuck there for a couple of seasons, right? And as a quarterback, a lot of guys now, they bolt when the situation doesn't fit them. You stayed there. Were you frustrated at all?
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. Were you trying to lie with the coaches? Like, hey, man, we need to throw it around a little bit.
We've been trying to, you know, tell them what was up. But at the end of the day, I'm only the player, especially in that time in high school. I don't got as much pull as I do now. And so, you know, it was a difficult time, but I mean, in the long run, it paid off.
So when you get done with high school, no offers, right? Like your dad's driving you to camps. Was that a frustrating experience, or were you just like in the mindset of like, you never know who's watching, this next camp could be the one? How did you go through that process?
I just stayed ready, having the same mindset every day. Being a gunslinger, you know, just, you know, trying to prove myself right every time I touch the field. You know, I think I did that at a numerous amount of camps, and, you know, all it took was, you know, one school to finally see that. You know, they did. I mean, look where I'm at now.
So Incarnate Word, Eric Morris was there at the San Antonio camp, right? Like, yep. Did you feel it? Like, did you feel like I'm on my game today? Like,
I feel that every day.
Every day. So he comes up to you. His part of the story is like, how has everybody missed on this dude? Like, what are we doing? And they offer you on the spot and you take it?
No, they didn't offer me on the spot. I went to the camp back in July, I believe.
Okay.
They didn't offer me until the next year. It was January of my senior year, so it took about 6-7 months for them to offer me. But, you know, as soon as they did, I took a visit up there that weekend, and I committed on the spot.
So we got Coach Morris on Monday, by the way.
He's going to be on Monday.
I'm going to give him a little, you know what, for taking so long.
I've been did that to him.
I bet you have. I love it.
Cam, one thing I want to know, man, taking you away from that, but going back to that moment, I had that opportunity to ride with my mom in '96. I was about 14, 15 years old. We got in the S truck, and she drove me all the way to New Jersey for the ABCD camp. You know what I mean? What was that ride like? Like, what was your thought process? If you could think back to that time, what was those rides like? What were you listening to? Like, because that's a lot. For a young kid, know you going to a camp, you got to get in this car and roll. Like, that's a little different level right there.
Just trying to stay in a clean mindset, I would say. You know, free-headed, free-spirited. And like I said, like, you really never know who's watching. Whether it's a Power 5 school or, you know, it could be a D3 school. Especially nowadays, you hit that portal, you can always work yourself up. So you just got to, have a, ability to be confident, even when you're not confident. So you just got to be able to take over.
So you take over at Incarnate Word. They had a returning quarterback that was very successful. You end up winning that job. You follow your coach to Washington State. Success there. Did you think about going pro at that point?
Yeah, I thought about going pro my first year at Wazoo.
At Wazoo? Why did you not do it?
Well, I thought I was ready. The biggest reason why is just what the draft grade that I was getting at the time.
Okay.
It's more day 2, day 3. But it's still then I thought I was always better than those other quarterbacks. It's just the record, I think, played a factor in it. And then also, a lot of people not staying up till 1, 2 a.m. watching our games.
That's a real
like
thing.
That.
Yeah.
And so I think a lot of things played a part. But it worked out, and I made a big time decision about going to Miami.
So you go to Miami.
I think you posted that you were going to go to the draft or something, right? Or somebody posted it, and then Coach Cristobal was like, "Hang on."
I got some fun.
Why Miami? What was it about Miami?
I just think the team they had. I think the process that I went through was real good because I took my time. I didn't let no school rush me, and I really looked at the team. I looked at the offensive line they had, the receiving core they had, and they literally returned everybody. I was the only new piece. And so, I knew it would work out there. I had a good head coach, a good OC, and they put the ball in my hands.
Cam Ward with us on 3HL.
Yeah, man. I got a young fella I mentored to play with you, man. So he talked real high of you, Isaiah Horton.
Yes, sir.
That's my young fella, man. I'm glad you got down there and fed him, man, because he was starving, boy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's good work, man. No doubt.
So before we kind of jump in a little bit of ball talk, what do you do for fun?
I don't know. I go fishing, play the game, and I just watch film. So that's fun to me.
There you go.
I'll tell you this, man.
Every Titans fan loves that.
People move here because of the fishing. There are a lot of lakes around, man. You're going to find some spots. That's for sure.
Yes, sir.
All right, so Tennessee Titans. 3 wins, obviously, last year. You got a lot of hungry guys in that locker room ready to win. What do you bring to the table for these guys?
I just think my mindset is the biggest aspect that I bring to the table. I'm a person who wants to win every game if they can. I know it's going to be adversity at the end of the day. You're not going to be able to win every game in the NFL. You playing against the best of the best week in, week out. And so, we just got to have, elite communication in the locker room, and I think we're going to be able to get a lot more wins this year.
Got some Some holes that this franchise looking to fill throughout this draft. Obviously, a second-round pick tonight. You nudge Borgonzi or anybody and say, hey, you know who's sitting there for that pick for us?
He know who I want.
Okay.
I've been on him. He know who I want. Everybody know who I want.
Who's that?
I want my receivers. I want Restrepo.
There you
That's
go.
big.
Dude.
That's heavy, real.
Hey, you want to talk about a story, too? Restrepo's got one, too. Just fighting and clawing adversity his whole life, too, right?
Yes, man. Like, he's somebody who had to get out the mud as well. He wasn't that highly recruited. Even to this day, they're still, looking down on him. But, he's one of the best route runners in this draft.
Wow, I love that.
We got some quotes from our guy Justin Mello with Titan Size. He talked to Restrepo, and Restrepo said this about you, quote, "You'd be in the huddle thanking the Lord that he's touching the ball every play. He's just an absolute game changer as an athlete. The game never felt over because we had Cam under center."
Yes, sir. That's elite, man. I appreciate that shit.
I mean, y'all played some wild games, including the one that she was at, but no matter what was going on, you always had your eye on what you were doing in the moment, right?
It's you just gotta be a control what you can control. I mean, as long as your guys in the huddle got faith they can win the game, you always got a chance.
Kyle Williams said this. He comes off a little nonchalant, but that's just a testament to how confident he is in his game and in his preparation.
Yeah, I appreciate that, K-Dub. He's one of the receivers I'm hoping we get in this draft class as well. He
can play.
He's an elite route runner. I got a chance to play with him for a year at Wazoo. But, I mean, that guy, he's special. He's a big reason why I'm here, and I'm hoping I can team up with him as well.
Samuel Brown Jr. said this. He knows how to demand greatness out of you while still being a respectful teammate. I love that quote. He just knows how to push the right buttons to get the best out of you.
Yes, sir. And Sam's one of those guys who's crazy fast. He don't get the credit, that he's getting in this draft class. But the right team who chooses him, they're gonna make sure they got what they get out of him.
So if it was one thing that you could say to these Titans fans that been down through it, stayed down 10 toes, feeling what the Titans big blue is, when you think about tighten up, you get this right here. What would you tell these fans to look forward to, Cam?
And pull up every Sunday to Nissan and to new stadium. Once we in there, we're gonna have it rocking. It's always gonna be tighten up.
Y'all heard it, baby.
Ladies and gentlemen, the #1 pick, your quarterback, Cam Ward.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate you, brother. All right, more 3HL coming up next on 104.5 The Zone.
What's happening? What's happening, good people? KellumStemCellInstitute.com. Head over there, get that inflammation about your body. You probably like aches and pains. Yeah, I was just going to take Aleve or Advil or something to get inflammation out of your body, but you're going to be doing it over and over and over and over and over again. That stuff, man, eats at you internally, and you already have the cure inside of you. All you got to do is harvest it. That's right, your body, your cells, your solution. Harvest your body's stem cells and store them for future and continued use. Now, these cells are your body's healing cells, harvested and redeployed based on your needs. Stem cells attack inflammation in the body, and we know that all autoimmune disorders are derived from inflammation, whether it's congestive heart failure, lung issues, arthritis, autism, either one, it doesn't matter. 615-850-4415. That's the number you need to hit up. 615-850-4415. Talk to Dr. Kellum directly. Sit down with him. Only can do that at KellumStemCellInstitute.com.
3HL 104.5, the Zone Friday edition, rounds 2 and 3 coming up. Tonight, Titans radio coverage begins at 6 o'clock on 104.5 The Zone, and you can listen to all of the crew there. And I'll tell you more about that in a second as I get past all my Cam Ward pictures that I just took. Tune in, Titans Radio. Award-winning coverage of the NFL Draft beginning at 6 o'clock today on 104.5 The Zone. Hear every selection and analysis that you can't get anywhere else. Rhett Bryan, Amy Wells, Ramon Foster, Coach Dave McGinnis, and the new voice of the Titans, Taylor Zarzour, live with analysis and all those things. Rounds 2 and 3. We'll talk more about who might be available at 35 or if they trade down, who might be available there. You'll hear some snippets from Greg Cosell breaking down some tape of some of these guys. But, y'all, Cam Ward just came in here and crushed it. I mean,
that was everything right there.
Takeaways.
You want me to go first? I was just about to hit you.
Go first.
I think, man, takeaways from me, listening to him talk, and even more so now with seeing him in person and hearing him in person, like he does his work before. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like he is prepared.
I heard one time Peyton Manning said this, and I always tried to use this when I was uncomfortable doing this job, you know, early on before you get comfortable doing this job. And he said, if you prepare, the nervousness doesn't creep in.
Yeah. I think that's
the confidence overtakes whatever nervousness you're feeling, and the leadership overtakes anything that you're feeling nervousness-wise because you're prepared. And I love your point about that with him.
That's what you can see, because I mean, and a routine. He talked about inconsistencies being a pet peeve of his. Like that's, I don't know if I would have been thinking that right
at 22 years old.
You know what I'm saying? Like that. Yes, indeed. But to fire that off. That's prepared, man, and that's going to be huge moving forward. You ask about taking over locker rooms and things of that nature. Mm-hmm. That preparation has you calm in those moments. So
here's my other takeaway too. Like those answers, they weren't fake.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
Like I feel
it
like you
wasn't scripted or nothing.
Right. You can sit here and look somebody in the eye and know if they're BSing you, right?
Yep.
I mean, and you guys definitely know with me because then I can't look you in the eye.
Yep.
But that's why I don't do it anymore. I just gave up. Like, don't sugarcoat anything anymore because you're not good at it. Yeah, everything shows on your face. But for him, I felt like it was genuine and like real. And, you know, I always check because I have anxiety. So, you know, I always think I'm having a heart attack or something. I always check my, like, heart rate on my watch. I bet that dude's sitting heart rate is like 40.
Yeah.
Like Lance Armstrong is a good example. His resting heartbeat was like 40.
Yeah.
And that's why he was able to do what he was able to do.
Like,
I got
he
that
wasn't
too.
even sweating.
No.
My thing with Cam.
It's hot up there. I was sweating on the boomer room.
My thing with Cam was all of this talk about his confidence level and his leadership abilities and all those things. Like him being on stage next to us, like you could feel the confidence, and it is not fake, dude, at all.
No.
But it's also, and I said this when I came home from Miami, remember?
Yeah.
It's also not arrogant.
No, it's not.
Like, I heard somebody randomly say that they thought his press conference today was super arrogant. I'm like, never once did I get that from that press conference today, from him sitting with us. Like, never once did I feel like he was arrogant or unlikable or anything like that. It comes off as so genuine, just like matter of fact.
And you know what, Babs, I'm willing to bet a month's salary, whoever that was, that's coming from a standpoint of a person understanding that you've never been a leader or you've never been led. You've been a person to sit back and or an athlete to be a part of a team where all moving parts have to be going in one direction, and you got to have somebody willing to stand up there in front and say, "Hey, man, this is the way it needs to be." And if you can't get with it, okay, either we got to adjust or you got to get off. And that's the only way I would say it would seem arrogant, because you never heard a confident person speak that's prepared like that.
Right.
That's the journey that they walk through. So that's weird when people speak like that. Well, I ain't never heard nothing like that.
And that's why I wanted to make the point about, like, his confidence level is a real thing, because he's about to walk into a locker room with a bunch of grown-ass men that would be able to look through anything fake.
And guess what he said? This is what I love. We've been saying it for maybe a week now, ever since I heard Josh Pate. talk about it. You can't talk to everybody the same way. Like hearing him say that he understands that, hey man, you got to do, it's certain ways you got to approach certain people. And your conversation and your tone has to change for some. Some you got to be calm. Some you got to get hyped. Sometimes you got to rah-rah. It's different, and he understands it, man. And that's a true sign of a leader, man. And God, that was refreshing. I told Burke Nihill when I walked past him, I said, man, I'm going to be honest. It felt like, I don't know what the future holds, but it felt like a black cloud was lifted with that pick. And him walking around and working the rooms and, going on his media circuit, like it feels different. And that don't count for no wins.
How about his sweet family over there, too?
Oh, you can see where you get it from.
So proud, the biggest smiles, just chill over there.
Pop's super chill.
So
that's probably where it gets it right.
I always talk about if you don't have hope, you don't have anything. Mm-hmm. And it's tough in sports, right? When you watch a bunch of losing, you get, the battered Vol syndrome, for example, or, battered Titan syndrome.
Yep.
It's easy to get down that hole. This guy offers hope, man. I haven't felt this in a minute.
And you know why, though, Yoram?
Especially from a certain specific one player.
Yep. But that's why you won't, like what Taylor was saying, Zarzar. That's why you need that quarterback position to be there. Because they are the ball handler of the team. Them in the center are going to touch the ball every single play. Every single play they out there on the field. So when you're talking about changing the pace of the game, changing the momentum of the game, they have the power to do that in football where you have 11 guys 10 other guys you need to count on to get you over the hump. For him to be the guy, he understands that. He understands that power that he has. Man, I'm all right with it, man. I'm going to be real. I'm all right with it.
We always get to doing sports talk, you always get into this hyperbole world, and you want to ask a question that I'm going to ask you and get an immediate answer and just a definitive answer about how the next 10 years is going to go. But I'm going to ask you, what's up, boys? Will Cam Ward be the face of the franchise, superstar player that they think that he will be?
I honestly think it's without question.
I'm just shaking my head at that.
Why are you shaking your head?
I mean, because right now, of course, you're going to say, hell yeah, he is.
Yeah,
well, I gave that
country
caveat.
Accent.
But that's why I said man, coming into it, that's why it feels like a black cloud was lifted.
Yeah.
This don't count for no wins or no losses.
Are you on the Tower of Terror again?
No, I ain't even on it yet. But I'm at the gate.
Here.
I can step on it.
I was wondering if it stopped at a floor.
Yeah. How about, can I answer that question, quickly with some of the negative stuff that I've gotten in my Twitter feed? Because everybody knows I've been Cam Ward's the pick forever, right?
Yeah,
I'm all in on him.
Yeah.
Always have been,
Draft
or have
day.
been for a while. Like right here. They could draft Jesus Christ as quarterback, but with no offensive line, it wouldn't matter. This will be another draft bust. They've addressed the offensive line. They brought pieces in. They've moved Latham to the right.
They have the best offensive line coach in football.
They have
for a second year.
Is it still going to be a work in progress? Absolutely, because let's be honest, half the offensive lines in the NFL always are. But they've addressed some of those. So, wide receiver, they have a lot of holes to fill. We know that. They're going to address something in the draft at some point. They brought in Tyler Lockett, a guy that can give security and be some kind of a security blanket for this quarterback. Maybe they go edge with this next pick and help Big Jeff out, but you got T'Vondre Sweat there. So there are holes, but your biggest hole is always quarterback. And at the end of the day, if you don't have a better than average quarterback, you're never going to be playing in the Super Bowl, period. I don't care how many times Big Jeff tells me that defenses win championship, and you just, in my mind, solidified that spot for what could be solidified for a very long time, which will enable you to fill all of those other spots and will also enable you to get free agents that look at your franchise, look at this amazing town and this awesome fan base and say, I want to go there because I want to play with a guy like Cam Ward. I want to play with a guy that wants to win that bad, and I want to play with a guy whose teammates say some of the quotes that you mentioned about him. So yes is my answer. You never know. It might take more than a year, but yes, and hell yes.
I think it's still going to take more than a year, but no question about it. But that
You
right there.
do?
Yeah. But
If he hits, I don't.
I got to see what else they're going to put. You got to have somebody at linebacker. You got to have somebody off the edge. And, I mean, yeah, I do not think this offense overnight is going to be explosive and start putting up 40 points a game.
No.
So we're going to have to stop somebody. So
He will,
I don't care.
he will have moments, though.
He'll have moments.
You know what I mean?
Will Levis had moments.
I know.
So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like,
No, but I'm excited about the moments.
You know what I
He
mean?
had some
Like, he had
moments.
some hell of a moments. You know what I mean? Honestly, remember, dude, imagine the high we were on after the Atlanta game. Like,
Four
what the hell?
touchdowns against
Like,
Atlanta.
Dude, that was, and rolling
Like,
out,
oh,
throwing
they
it.
found their
You feel what I'm
franchise.
saying? So,
Yeah.
but this is, I do think you feel
And
something
Cam Ward's
different with
going to
it.
throw picks.
No,
He's going to turn the
guaranteed.
ball over a bunch in his
It's
first year.
guaranteed. The thing is, what do you do when you make the mistakes? That's the biggest thing
That's right.
for me. How do you bounce back? What's your bounce back like? What's your mental like when you're bouncing back? What is everybody saying around you when you're bouncing back? Is everybody putting their head down?
Oh, here we
why they
go
put him out?
again.
Exactly. You know what I mean? As long as you don't have that, that means you got growth in the right direction. I'm with it.
Okay, guess what? I'm 100% confident you don't have to worry about reaction with this guy.
No, I believe you. I believe you.
All right,
We
3HL,
sleep
5
at night on this one.
5 o'clock hour coming up. When we come back to 6 and Peabody, the New York Giants reportedly offered a haul to the Tennessee Titans. They turned it down. We'll talk about that next. 3HL 104.5 The Zone.
What's happening, y'all? 7012 Church Street East is the location you need to head to right there in the heart of Brentwood, just off Franklin Road, BrentwoodJewelry.com. It's that opportunity to be right there in the presence of exceptional style and deals that are taking place every single day, and it's been happening for over 50 years. Brentwood Jewelry is proudly serving the community with that style, those deals every single day. So why would you not go in there and just venture off on now? See if you can get an engagement ring. Walk down that aisle, man, and let them help you plan it all. Watches. They got them also Nashville's premier timepiece dealer is Brentwood Jewelry. Not only do they have the best selection of watches, but they also have the go-to. They also are the go-to spot for pre-owned Rolexes, vintage or current models. So boom, there you have it. You don't feel comfortable going into the jewelry store? Well, you can go online. Go to BrentwoodJewelry.com, surf the internet, see exactly what they got. Other than that, man, get to BrentwoodJewelry.com.
Hello, sometimes it's just time to upgrade things in your home, like your windows and doors. And it was time for us to upgrade those things in our home. You might be surprised to learn how affordable replacement windows are from Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville. Affordable and, of course, the best quality out there. Pella was voted #1 by Nashville homeowners as the leading window brand in Nashville. That's based on the sitting survey of leading window brands among homeowners. On top of that, they've got the staff in place to take care of you, and I can attest to that because Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville has replaced a ton of my windows and doors in my rental property, in my home. I'm actually doing another door coming up, and on top of that, they want to give you a deal. We call it the Dawn deal around here. 55% off qualifying installations and no interest if paid in full within 12 months. No promo payments due, plus an additional $250 off of your project. All you have to do, schedule your free consultation online. Tell them you want the Dawn deal and they'll take care of you. Go check it out at PellaNashville.com.
afternoon. I'm Joseph Bonanno, live from 6 and Peabody. The Tennessee Titans first-round pick, Cam Ward, was introduced today at Ascension St. Thomas Sports Park, where he was surprised by Hall of Fame quarterback and Oilers legend Warren Moon, who unretired his #1 jersey and offered it to Ward to wear as the Titans' first ever #1 overall pick. The second and third rounds of the 2025 NFL Draft get going tonight, with the Titans scheduled to pick at number 35. Some teams are making their first picks of the draft tonight, as the Texans and Rams both traded out of their spots late in the first round. You can catch all of Day 2 draft coverage with the Titans radio crew tonight, starting at 6 p.m. following 3HL, right here on The Zone and on Zone TV. For your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Balls. This is 104.5 The Zone.
HL 104.5 The Zone Friday edition, coming at you live from 6th and Peabody in downtown Nashville. This is a cool place, man. Temperature's good enough to have the garage doors open and the air coming out. Great food, libations. We literally have 9 jars of moonshine sitting on our table.
And I was told that we can do whatever we please with it.
Oh, is that right?
And we will.
Also, Bert's in charge all of a sudden, so.
I'm gonna slide.
Not you until we're done.
I'm gonna slide one off the table, and Bert just gonna catch it.
A little blue. You want a little Titan blue moonshine?
That is spectacular. Our broadcast again being presented by Parman Tractor and Equipment. Download the 104.5 The Zone app. Take us anywhere so you don't miss anything. And we've got you covered. Parman Tractor and Equipment, your authorized Takahashi excavator and track loader dealer. For more information, visit 104.5thezone.com. For some reason,
I love this table too, right here in front.
They've been rocking. They've been getting down with us.
Shout out to the crew right in the middle, right in front of us.
The love is real. We love y'all back.
We'll put you with them, yeah.
Over here to the left, we've got some repeat offenders from last night.
Okay, we love y'all.
Over here,
you're our
over here to the right.
Yeah.
I feel like, we're on stage at Bridgestone singing songs or something, which y'all don't want us to do that.
No,
believe
that
me.
would be a disaster. And my mother-in-law and father-in-law.
Look
love
at
y'all.
Ted and Becky
Bye-bye.
right here, y'all.
Y'all be safe.
Ted with the finger. I love it. Not that finger.
No.
That would be you, typically speaking. We had Cam Ward on the show live here at 6 and Peabody. If you missed that conversation, you will want to hear it. So download the Comcast. Download the podcast where you get your podcast. And
that's all right. They're a sponsor. We're good with that.
Yeah, and you can get it done there. You'll want to see it on the Zone YouTube feed as well. You can find it there, 1045thezone.com. Also, our thanks to Taylor Zarzar, who joined us in the 3 o'clock hour. And you know what's funny?
Talk to us.
We were talking about.
I know what you're going to say.
We were talking about Cam Ward's confidence level. And now that we've sat with him and talked with him face to face, we understand how real that is.
Which Taylor has gotten to do probably a little bit last night.
Yes.
And he saw it.
So he said, I compare him, and this is going to sound weird, but I compare him to Larry Bird. Which I thought was an interesting comparison, because I've been down these rabbit holes lately with these Instagram videos of like Michael Jordan and people telling stories about MJ and people telling stories about Bird and all that stuff. So I thought that was interesting. And then Slay asked him in the Boom Boom Room, 5 people you want to have dinner with, and he said Larry Bird is one of them.
I almost brought it up in the Boom Boom Room, but then I was like, Slay's going to get on me for stealing it. Yeah.
Oh, you was going to bring that up.
But like, how random is that? We haven't talked about Larry Bird like ever.
But see,
or in forever. And all of a sudden, Taylor Zarzar says that, and then he says that's a guy that he would have at his table.
Yeah.
Like, what does that tell you?
Yeah, he's an assassin. Bird was one. But this is the other thing. Like, those sports, playing sports, like he's confident in all. Baseball, basketball, like the man know what he like.
Well, and a lot of people like Bird for the trash talking and stuff, but like he's coming at it from a different angle. He's coming at it from a confidence level. And Larry Bird, like, if y'all don't know, maybe you're too young to remember, but Larry Bird would be on the floor and he would ask the defending player where he wanted to hit the next shot.
No, I can tell him.
Yeah.
I'm going right there to the elbow.
Or tell him.
Mm-hmm.
But there's one story where he was playing the Supersonics when Oklahoma City was in Seattle still.
Mm-hmm.
And X-Man was guarding him. And Larry Bird said, they were down by 1. He goes, where do you want me to hit the game winner? And X-Man said, 18 feet left corner. And Bird's like, okay. Went over there, shot the shot, made it. Won the game.
Bird, different animal, man.
Different animal. So that was interesting. We have someone on the line that we haven't heard from in a long time. Her name is Brooke, and she used to be an intern for 3HL back in the day, and now she is in the TV business, and she's on line 1. Brooke, what's up? How are you?
Hey, Brent. Hey, Don. Hey, Ron. How are you guys doing?
What's happening, Brooke?
Hi, Brooke. How are you?
So, Brooke.
I'm doing great. I listen to you guys all the time. Even though I'm in St. Louis, Missouri now, I still listen to you guys because I had to keep up with my Titans, and you're my go-to show.
Oh, Brooke, thank you. It's good to hear your voice. So we were talking about Luther Burden earlier. You covered him, correct?
Yes. So I've covered Luther Burden since high school, since he was at East St. Louis. And let me tell you, I feel like there's a little bit of a smear campaign going on with Luther Burden right now with some of the stories that are being put out there about him. And I can tell you guys, I wouldn't sit here on the phone and just wait around. If Luther Burden is still available for the Titans today in the second round, the Titans need to take him because he is a great wide receiver, but also a great person. And I would not go out of my way to just say this about Luther Burden because, look, you know, we've all covered many different athletes, some who have really big diva personalities, all that kind of stuff. I can tell you without a doubt, Luther Burden is a great guy. One case in point here is the fact that he sticks around with the Mizzou program. Nothing against Mizzou, but they're not at that elite level just yet in the SEC. Some people call them kind of the stepbrothers still of the SEC. And he decided to go into that program and made sure that he stuck around to help build up things that Eli Drinkwitz was doing over there, to really help build up that program. He could have gone over to Georgia. He could have gone to Alabama. There was other schools that were trying to recruit him, but he stayed because he believed in the program and he wanted to help build it up. Also, just from a community standpoint, he's done a lot of things back in St. Louis and East St. Louis, which is not a great area, but still he's made sure to come back and give back to the community with a lot of his NIL money.
I love that.
I love that you called with all those questions about him because it's like every analyst we talk to is like, this is a top 10 level guy.
Yeah.
And so these ridiculous stories that are going out there, you know, obviously you hear them and you see them and we all call it lying season and whoever's putting these out there is doing it for a reason, right? Like, because they want him to fall, I guess. And
yeah.
So I'm glad that you took the time to call us with your perspective, having covered him.
Or Brooke, I can say this. I can't remember. No, I think you weren't around during Chris Johnson time, but CJ at the Titans. Remember, there were question marks with, you know, his childhood friends growing up, some of his family members, all of that, and I felt like that kind of rubbed off on him. And I'm like, this guy is amazing. You know, he has the biggest heart. He is my favorite. Like, I felt like defending him. So could that be one of the reasons maybe some of these rumors are out there with Luther? Maybe it's like kids, you know, that he's loyal to, he's grown up with, or maybe some family members that give a bad rap. I don't know, because we've heard nothing but positive now, and you interacted with him at a younger level too, you know?
Yeah, I was able to cover him in high school and even at Mizzou while he was over there, and I didn't see any change from him personality-wise. He's an elite competitor, and the family stuff is interesting because I did see the report that I know that you guys talked about earlier too, about this anonymous scout saying that maybe he's a problem because he's being represented by a girlfriend or a mother. I double-checked before I came on the show, and he's not being represented by his mother or his girlfriend, anything like that. He has an actual agent within this business. So his family's involved, of course, but at the same time, they're not crossing the line where you're having to worry about that territory of the family getting into the business in that way.
That's so weird. It's crazy.
Brooke,
His talent level, man.
Brooke, we just had a little birdie, Corey Curtis, tell us that, are you expecting?
I am. Yeah, I'm 9 months
Congratulations.
pregnant, actually, right now. Thank you.
You're how many months pregnant?
9 months, yeah.
Oh, Lord.
I mean, like any second here.
Any second, and I'm tuned into the Titans because I got to see what happened. I'm fired up about Cam Ward, and I'm hoping that they're taking Luther Burden. I think that if you look at some of his Mizzou numbers last year, not that exciting. It was more about the quarterback than anything with Brady Cook, who was dealing with injuries. Yep. I know they didn't have many exciting moments last year over at Mizzou football, but I'm telling you, I wouldn't take the time to call if I didn't think that Luther Burden was a great guy on and off the field.
Great call.
Thank you, bro.
I'm going to St. Louis this week, and I was going to say, hey, do you want to meet for a drink? But apparently not.
She could drive you somewhere.
Hey, I could do NA cocktails, Don.
Yeah. That's right. That's right.
Well, congratulations, Brooke. Thank you for the little backstory there on Burden. That helps us.
All right. Yeah, thank you guys so much. Luther Burden's a great guy, and hopefully he'll land there in Nashville.
There you go.
When he does, we'll have you back on, too.
So on the heels of that, let's go back to Cosell and his breakdown of Luther Burden, the football player. So now we heard that story. Let's get Cosell again about his skill set as a football player.
Well, if he's there at 35, I would take about 10 seconds to get the card up. Luther Burden has everything you want. I mean, he's a 3-level dimension. He may not be as terrifyingly explosive as someone like Jamison Williams, but he definitely can run. He can get on top of the defense. He's really good run after catch. He's not a small guy. I mean, we're talking about a guy that's over 200 pounds. So it's not like he's a quick little guy. I mean, he's got good size. Again, what his numbers were this year, given their whole situation with the offense, that doesn't matter to me. It's just watching his tape and seeing his trades. And, to me, he's he's worthy of a first-round pick. But, again, I don't know why, quote-unquote, he dropped. I spoke to someone. There's no issue with him as an individual, character-wise, none of that. So I can't speak to that, Brent. But if Luther Burden is there at 35, I would take him in a heartbeat.
There you go. There's a breakdown from Cosell.
That says a lot, man. That says a whole lot.
I mean, that's a top 10 talent you can grab at 35.
I was just telling Bert off air, like, dog, one thing if the franchise can handle any of the white noise around it, you haven't heard him be a problem on the field. And then even off the field, outside of this hoax, this hocus pocus mama girlfriend agent situation, like you ain't heard him getting in the trouble, you know what I mean, with the law, like this, like what's the problem?
Yeah.
Like what is that?
Here's the actual
problem.
His production went down this year, and I think it has a lot to do with what you said about Missouri losing that running back.
Yes,
affected what they were doing offensively. But you never heard him complain about it. And you would hear a lot of wide receivers complain about stuff like that, and he just never did.
And that's the thing, man. Like a lot of receivers are thrown off mentally. They just are. Like whether it be diva, whether it be finesse all the time, whether it's all about them. But that's the receiver in this generation. That's the receiver over all generations, actually. So what are we missing? That's crazy, man.
That could be the pick at 35.
He gonna make somebody pay. He gonna make somebody pay.
You want to talk about a chip on the shoulder?
He gonna make somebody pay.
That's definitely gonna happen there. As we move through the show, you'll also hear Greg Cosell on Landon Jackson, on Jaden Higgins, the wide receiver out of Iowa State, Trey Harris from Ole Miss, your boy from Boston College.
Ezeraku.
Yes, thank you.
Donovan.
And we've got that coming up. Also, we didn't get into the trade. Would you guys have made this trade? The New York Giants reportedly offered a haul to the Titans to move up to 1 to grab Cam Ward. The Giants would get the overall number 1 pick. The Titans would get the number 3, Carter, I guess. The Titans would also receive the Giants' first-round pick in 2026, meaning the potential is there to have maybe 2 top 10 picks next year, and other picks. Apparently, it went above and beyond the chart.
Right.
Would you have done it? 615-737-1045. More 3HL Live from Peabody next on 1045 The Zone.
All right. Are your monthly bills keeping you up at night? Maybe you're worried about your finances in these crazy times. If you're like most people, you've racked up a lot of debt on those credit cards, monthly payment, not making a dent in it. Now is the perfect time to call Loan Pronto. If you own a home, super easy way to get tens of thousands of dollars, even hundreds of thousands of dollars out in cash. And Loan Pronto has lots of options for helping you tap into the equity of your home. Most homeowners who do this end up wiping out all their credit card debt, and they even cut their monthly expenses by $1,000. You didn't mean to end up here. You don't have to keep stressing here, though. Call Loan Pronto for fast debt relief now, 615-499-5780. You can start the whole process online at loanpronto.com. That's 615-499-5780, loanpronto.com. Loan Pronto, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
3HL 104.5 The Zone Friday edition. Which means what? Slay Dog.
Get Friday! You better know it.
Might as well at Old Smoky Tennessee Moonshine here at 6 and Peabody. I mean,
this is the place to be, dog.
Look, we got
this setup, a terrific setup.
We don't just have a bunch of moonshine in front of us. We have like patriotic moonshine. We've got kind of the Titans blue-ish. We've got White Lightning, which is Mark Mariani moonshine.
That's right.
Oh, these are Titans colors.
Yeah, and then Hunch Punch. They are Titans colors. Yes.
Is it called Hunch Punch?
Yes.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
The red one is.
Oh, yeah, it is.
What?
That ain't the, but guess what?
She just automatically says, no, you're wrong, Mayor, even when she doesn't know.
Sorry, Mayor.
That is
You don't think
the
I
Hunch
looked at
Punch.
that? Yeah.
But, you know, the Hunch Punch used to go in the big cooler. If you ain't put it in the big cooler or one of the gallons in the refrigerator.
You talking about one of those coolers that we used to have when we were playing like little kid basketball?
Yeah, we just pour everything in there. Yeah, that's the real Hunch Punch. No, we had Hunch Punch so old, I think, but statute of limitations up. So we had Hunch Punch so old.
How old was it?
Yeah, dude, this right here. At one point, we had fungus in the Hunch Punch. Y'all want me to tell you something crazy that I did?
That's gross. You did not drink
you
it.
could, you can make it up in your mind that the alcohol actually kills the fungus.
Oh, well, if it didn't, we picked the fungus out because we were using expensive vodka at the time. We were using Belvedere and Grey Goose.
No, you didn't.
We picked the fungus out,
my
and then
gosh,
we just threw some ice in there
No, Slay.
and swirled it around to mix it up. It was
I am never drinking crap at your house, ever.
When was
Man,
this?
so
Like
this is college.
last week?
No,
or-
this is college. This is college.
Okay.
Oh,
This is
I
college.
thought this was at your house.
No, I ain't doing
Like,
this.
what is wrong with y'all?
No, not as an adult. But
You think just
as a young
because you
adult,
can't see mold and fungus that
I got
it's
it out.
Hold on.
I picked it out.
This is the guy that wouldn't even drink out of his cup
That's
because
right.
there was mold in it once
Because I'm a smart, older young man now.
that I cleaned out for you.
Exactly. And if you never watched it, I would have never had it.
So what happened after you cleaned out you lifted the fungus out of there and still drank it? What happened?
We fired the grill up and had people come over. We finished the Hunch Punch.
Oh my god.
Nobody got sick.
I don't know if they did or not. It might have
Did
just
you
not-
get sick? You
No,
didn't drink it, did
I
you?
got fried. No, I had a Grey Goose bottle.
See?
But everybody, listen, man, you take the fungus out, put some ice in it. It's just like you swirl it around. It's just like new. Like we wiped around the sides and everything.
Chris would never.
You can't wipe around the sides where the Hunch Punch is.
No, we got in there
Oh.
and got the scrape with like the cup. We picked it up and poured
Oh
it
my
out.
Lord.
Which
There was
means
so
it's
much
still
fungus
in there.
that you had to use a cup?
Yeah. They've been there for about 2-3 months.
Y'all, you could do that, or you could come here to 6 at Peabody and drink some Hunch Punch here from Old Smoky, Tennessee
man.
Moonshine.
I'm going
College
to go
life.
ahead and point out how absolutely ridiculous and disgusting that is. Even Bert over there.
Bert laughed so hard that we heard him, and he doesn't even have a mic, and we have
so
headphones
hard
on.
Bert said he would have hit
shook
it.
his head.
Bert would have hit it with me.
No.
The
Even
ice-
Bert was like,
Ice
oh,
cooled it
hell.
off, Babsy.
No, Bert was laughing because he was like, that's some crap we would have done.
See what I'm saying? That's what we were doing. No, that was expensive. That was expensive. You know how much Grey Goose bottles and Belvedere bottles cost back in the day? We was getting the big boys too. Like we couldn't just put that what we gonna do? Throw the vodka out?
Can you relate to this story on any level, Bert?
Let's get Friday.
I mean, we used to put it in the bathtub when I was in college. You
That's
go
it.
over to somebody's house and they'd have the bathtub full of punch, and you just dip it right out of there in your own cup.
See, we had the big red igloo cooler.
No, you know what
That's
that
the one we
you know
had.
what that means? Bert's ready for prison.
make a bathtub brew.
Give me that toilet wine.
That's real
So,
bathtub brew.
we took a picture with a couple during the break, and I was talking with the guy after, and he said, "Man," I said, "Were you here for Cam Ward?" And he said, "Yes." And I said, "What'd you think?" He said, "I was solidly a trade back guy. I just think there are too many holes. They need." There are too many holes. They need too many pieces, all these things. Like, you need to acquire some draft capital and get some more picks. And I said, okay, I get it. And he goes, after I saw him with y'all and heard him talk, I'm all in. I mean, all in.
Captivated quite a few of us. It's acting like a number one pick should. Isn't it the hype that a number one pick is supposed to bring?
Yeah, but do they always?
No. Nope.
You know who else I liked last night was Will Campbell from LSU. He got picked by Mike Vrabel, New England Patriots. That dude was so emotional and humble and excited and like gave maybe the best side stage interview. And he's the guy, remember Cosell said there are 64 starting tackles, offensive tackles in the NFL, and only 4 have arms shorter than 33 or 34 inches, and Will Campbell is one of them. But Vrabel took it. And
it's a Vrabel guy.
Yeah. Yep.
And you know whose decision that was? Probably Mike Vrabel.
Yep.
Which is exactly why he got fired here.
Did Skoronski have short arms?
See ya.
Was Skoronski arm short too?
Yeah, that's why they moved him to guard.
Maybe we're gonna move him to guard. We're gonna see if we move him to guard.
Remember, I wanted Skoronski to be at tackle.
Who won the Browns Jaguars trade? Jacksonville gets Travis Hunter with the number 2 pick. They also get a 4th and a 6th round pick. Cleveland gets the number 5 pick, which they used to take Mason Graham, defensive tackle from Michigan. They also get a 2nd and a 4th and a 2026 first rounder. So tonight, when the draft starts, they currently have the 1st and 4th picks of the 2nd round tonight.
So I'm glad you asked that, because I feel like there's some differing opinions out there, and I have differing opinions. Like, I'm like, as a Titans fan, I don't want to face Travis Hunter twice a year, right? That sucks. I don't care what side of the ball he plays on. But then B, I thought it was a little aggressive and kind of crazy for a guy who's not the best wide receiver in this draft and not the best DB in this draft. I thought it was a little hefty.
I thought it was way hefty.
Yeah, I would have said I'm gonna wait. But initially, I say Cleveland won in that one. But I could see, man.
I say Cleveland.
Also, let's see what Cleveland does with these picks.
But I also thought too, though, with Travis Hunter, if he's not the best receiver or the best corner, he's the best player in the draft, though.
Right.
I know, it's just such a question of how he's going to be utilized, and I get that he's like off the charts athletic and a freak generational talent and all of that, but like, how are you going to use him? How will you utilize him on your team? We talked to Cosell. He talked about the difficulty of playing both sides of the ball, right? Just from a prep standpoint. And I don't care.
Installation.
From an installation and like the reps standpoint, right? And I don't care that he's going to live in the film room. He might be mentally absolutely 1,000% able to do it, but also you have to be able to do it with your teammates next to you. You also have to get reps with your teammates then on both sides of the ball. Reps with your quarterback, reps with whatever. You know what I mean? So that's my concern about him and how you're going to utilize him. Like, you just gave up a ton of stuff for him.
But I think
you better know.
It's also, too, though, like the same thing with the Titans and Cam Ward. Like, somebody was offering to give up a boatload, and you didn't want it just because you liked what you saw. And when you look at Jacksonville in the film room, once Cohen got off the phone and they put the other OC and the DC on, they both were going nuts, and the OC was really going crazy. So I say that to say, like, they saw something in him, just like
the Titans saw something in Cam.
You know, I wonder if his impact is going to end up being on the offensive side of the ball.
I think it will.
The way that OC was, yes.
Coach Sell yesterday said that, basically. He's like, he said the same thing about Luther Burden. He was like, this guy can take a tunnel screen to the house. And, like, everybody in the NFL is looking for that guy that could score from anywhere on the field. But he said the thing about his cornerback play, he said his tape indicates that his athleticism is what he uses, that he got beat over the top, that his DB tape is not good.
He said, word for word, his technique is not great.
Yeah. So that's interesting.
As a
but
DB,
we all know with the ball in his hands, look out.
Yeah. Ain't no question.
No, and also technique is something that can be taught and fixed, right?
Absolutely.
So let's go back to the Giants trade. So the reports were that the Giants offered a haul to the Titans to move up to 1 to grab Cam Ward. So the Giants would end up with the overall number 1. The Titans would get the 3, would have taken, I guess, Abdul Carter, right? The Titans would also receive the Giants' first-round pick in 2026, so they could conceivably have 2 top 10 picks in 2026 and other picks that were labeled a haul. Now that we've met him, it's an easier answer for me. Like, I would have not done it and rolled with this dude.
Yeah.
This guy's got something about him, man.
Like that
It was an easy answer, Brett.
that's what I'm saying. Like these same answers, that's what Travis Hunter was giving them on the phone. Like just like when he told them, man, like y'all made the right move by picking me. Like y'all were smart.
That's definitely true.
Travis said the same thing. Like y'all, when the owner got on, Khan got on, like you made a great move.
He's got a swagger.
Like you know what I mean. They all do. They all do. As much as we could say, or people could say, this draft not being that strong. Well, them top three, boy, when you talk about confidence, they are oozing it. Yep. This man, Abdul Carter, said he want Lawrence Taylor's number.
Right.
Like what? Like I don't even. We just talked about not knowing the history.
Yeah.
Like, does anybody know who Lawrence Taylor was? Like. A wrecking ball? A wrecking ball.
He
like
was
on one side.
He was an edge rusher.
Get LT's
you don't get LT.
For those that don't know, back in the day, he was an edge rusher before there were edge rushers.
Yeah.
Him and Derek Thomas.
Like that was different.
Yeah. Those were the two guys that, I mean, transcended the sport, right? Like they created a different position.
Yes. Like these guys are they're in a whole different stratosphere. When you talk about Reggie White, Lawrence Taylor, Derek, like these people.
Warren Moon.
Lord of mercy.
Falcons did well, I thought. Linebacker Jalen Walker from Georgia and then edge rusher James Pierce Jr. from Tennessee. They immediately got better in terms of getting after the quarterback.
Yes, and that's been a need for sure.
I thought they did well. Green Bay Packers selected wide receiver Matthew Golden out of Texas. First time they've taken a wide receiver in the first round since 2002. That was Javon Walker out of Florida State, who played 6 years. In year 3, he caught 89 balls for 1,382 yards and 12 touchdowns, but was out of the league after 6 years.
Yeah, I ain't remember him too long.
Right? Wow. They never drafted a first-round skill player while Aaron Rodgers was quarterback.
You think Aaron Rodgers is like huge?
Yeah, y'all doing this on purpose.
Y'all are some jerks.
Yep.
Mel Kiper Jr. turned the whole first-round broadcast into a Shedeur Sanders narrative.
Did you guys watch any? I don't think you guys were watching ESPN at all, were you?
I was, yes.
Oh, you were? Okay,
Yeah.
so you saw it.
Oh, yeah, it was
nonstop. I switched it. So I would go back and forth with listening to Titans radio and then the broadcast, just like kind of do both.
Yeah.
But it was almost bizarre.
At one point, he went 9 straight minutes on Shedeur Sanders. And I'm like,
Mel Kiper?
Yeah. I'm like, how about these guys that have earned the right to be first-round picks? Like, can't you tell their story? So
Well, right before
I get
Jackson
the Shedeur story.
Dart
I get
was-
it. But, man.
Right before Jackson Dart was picked, he went on a Shedeur rampage.
But
I'm like, dude, you know it's about to be Dart. You know it. I know it from watching the video in his living room. You know it. Certainly. ESPN knows it. Like, what are you doing?
this is the second time, though. Like, he's jumped out there on that limb and
He jumped out
with Will Levis.
He jumped out on pick 9 and said, this is going to be Shedeur Sanders. And then it wasn't. And I kind of hate it when they do that because they're clearly tipping the pick. So, like Greeny was doing it. Greeny was like, I can see the Raiders going running back here. I was like, damn, there goes Genty.
Yeah.
And sure enough, it was. But when Kiper did that, they didn't go Shedeur. And then I think he felt like an ego hit or something.
Well, he probably
when
felt
he was
like
wrong.
an ego hit because he put Shedeur as his first-ranked quarterback in his draft rankings.
I started wondering if someone
bizarre
in the Saints organization messed with him.
I hope they wouldn't do nothing like that.
That would make
Because
me
he was so in
Yeah, I
right
don't
before
like that.
pick
hate
9.
that
Yeah,
organization.
I don't like that. Yeah, I don't like that.
I don't like it either. I was just wondering because he was so in before pick 9.
I could
it was
see
so
that.
weird.
I could totally see that.
Also, other
let's slow
notes.
down.
The Steelers quarterback room is still Mason Rudolph and Skylar Thompson.
And Aaron Rodgers.
I mean, it has to be, right?
Yes.
Like Tomlin, if they sneak through his draft and don't get a quarterback, I don't know if Tomlin's ever been on shakier ground. Going 500 or not, you got to go get you got to go get somebody of the future.
I mean, you can't roll with Mason Rudolph and Skylar Thompson.
That means you putting all the eggs in Aaron Rodgers. He walk away and hang it up, boy. Lord of mercy.
Like, if we just, like, all these people walking down the street or whatever, like, if we just ask them, like, hey, what sport does Skylar Thompson play? Like, what does he do for a living?
I'm going to say play basketball. He shoot a lot of threes.
Or a skateboard guy or something.
Skylar Thompson. That sounds like one of the Thompson brothers.
Shoot threes.
Like Klay Thompson. That's the only there I can come over.
All the Thompsons.
Yep.
The Thompson twins. Back in the day. 80s music. All right, more 3HL when we come back. Round 2, what do you do at pick 35? There are some projections out there. We'll let you know. 3HL broadcasting live from 6th and Peabody on 104.5 The Zone.
All right, want to tell you about the Zen Sports app getting a major upgrade soon. They'll be launching a new state-of-the-art VIP Play app later in April. So go ahead and get your final bets in on the Zen Sports app now. But once the new app comes, you will be able to bet on more than 200 sports leagues, and you'll be able to parlay almost every single bet offered, period. I'll have my own special same game parlay featured, so will many more of your favorite sports talk show hosts right here in Tennessee, because guess what? Zen Sports VIP Play, it is all about Tennessee. You can head to zensports.com/VIP Play, learn more, claim an early welcome bonus offer on VIP Play when it launches in Tennessee here in a couple of weeks. Use the code DAWNTN, DAWNTN, and go ahead and get in before this awesome upgrade comes. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-889-9789. You got to be 21 and older and present in Tennessee to bet.
All right, y'all. Let's get this one up. They messed the first one up, Bert. I had to get this one back. They said somebody was coming in, so just like somebody can mess up my spot, don't let a car accident mess up your spot with Bart Dorman Injury Law. You got to have them on deck. You know how your life can change in an instance. A car wreck can throw everything off. Your job, your bills, your peace of mind. That's when you need good friends like Bart Dorman Injury Law. Blair Dorman and the team, they come fighting for you. I mean, right there with the gloves, they tied up tight shoes, laced up, ready to get in the war with you. They've been doing that for folks in Tennessee for years, making sure insurance companies pay up. No upfront costs, no waiting around. It's just real people out there making sure you get what you deserve. So the number you need to have on speed dial is 615-242-9000. Now, understand this. They're here 24/7 to fight for you. All you got to do is call Bart Durham Injury Law. Let Blair Durham and the team get out there and go and fight. First of all, 615-242-9000. You hear that? 615-242-9000, Bart Durham Injury Law.
3HL 104.5, the Zone Friday edition. Broadcasting live from 6th and Peabody. Thank you guys for staying, man. I wouldn't have faulted you when Cam Ward left if you would have left, but we're glad that you're here.
I would have faulted y'all if y'all would have left.
Slay would have faulted you. I don't know where Babs comes from.
I most definitely would have faulted y'all. Like, we with y'all every day. Like, y'all not hanging with us?
Yeah.
How you not going to hang with us?
We're all family.
Oh, let's go.
I mean, I think they get free drinks till 6 anyway, right?
Oh, is that what it is?
I'd be staying.
Ah, hell yeah. Who's counting?
The people in the middle, the mosh pit guys and gals. There they are.
Is that like these are the people that were selected, right? Like you guys are going to be in the mosh pit for games.
Yep.
Love this.
Yep.
I love this.
That's awesome. That's going to be fun. Tune in to Hear Titans Radio and their award-winning coverage of the second and third round tonight. Hear every selection and all of the analysis that you can't get anywhere else with Rhett Bryan, Amy Wells, Ramon Foster, Coach Dave McGinnis, the new voice of the Titans, Taylor Zarzar. I feel like he needs a nickname. Zarzar.
We'll come up with one.
That's
might might be the Czar.
Yeah.
The Czar of the microphone?
That's him.
Maybe we should ask him if
the Czar
he may have one on.
I don't know. You know me, I always go last name with everybody.
Yeah, but his last name is what makes it necessary for him to have a nickname.
Right. Zarzar.
TC?
Zaza.
The Czar of the Gridiron?
Zaza.
Anyway, Titans Radio's draft coverage presented by Farm Bureau Health Plans, making health coverage easy since 1947. You can check them out. Also, 104.5 The Zone draft coverage leading up to the draft this week and today. Parman Tractor and Equipment. We appreciate those guys. Download the 104.5 The Zone app. Take us anywhere so you don't miss anything. And tune in and listen. Parman Tractor and Equipment, your authorized Takahashi excavator and truck loader dealer. That's easy for me to say. Professional broadcaster. For more information, visit 1045thezone.com.
Takahashi.
There's a guy that
you had to practice that in the mirror.
Yeah, and I still screw it up. But yes, I do. I do practice things. I told you, I get in my car and I practice in and out of brake stuff. Still.
You know what that is? That is very Cam Ward-like preparation.
High prep, baby.
Yes.
High prep.
I like it.
Preparation, man.
So there's no inconsistencies.
What do you do with pick 35?
What do you do?
If Luther Burden's there, do you take him? They're saying yes.
Say
Luther
yes.
Burden, yes. Everybody?
Yes.
Luther Burden, okay. Okay.
People like Luther Burden.
You're on board.
Yes, most definitely
Babs?
on board.
No.
Why?
Because I trade back and get more picks.
Okay.
And get back in that third round.
But if you could get a Pro Bowl quarterback and a Pro Bowl wide receiver in the first 2 rounds of the 2025 NFL draft, I mean, you never know. I'm just saying, like, he's
still
got
a second-round pick.
He's got that ability, though.
I mean, he's still passed over by 31 teams.
True.
32.
That's right.
34 at that point.
Right. Thank you.
Maybe you move down and you take Kyle Williams, who played with Cam Ward at Wazoo. Did you also know that Kyle Williams was under Titans offensive coordinator Nick Holtz at UNLV?
Oh.
I saw a quote from Kyle Williams that said his visit to the Titans was more like meeting an old friend.
A little reunion.
Yeah, a little reunion thing.
Nothing wrong with that at all.
I didn't know that UNLV part with Nick Holtz until I read that this morning.
Yeah. I also think, man, Cam put it in there about Repo.
Restrepo, yeah.
Yeah, I think that hey.
Shoot, you can get him late, too.
Yeah, you can get him late. And the quality you're going to get.
His 40 time totally screwed him.
that quality, you get some help for Big Jeff with that third pick. Even if you were to trade down, you still going to get some edge, guys.
By the way, A to Z Sports reporting that Big Jeff will officially not be traded.
Oh, good for him.
Good.
I got a reaction.
Oh. Oh.
I mean, is anybody surprised there?
No.
Yeah, I am.
No.
You are? I think it'll be revisited next year, depending on what happens this year.
Yes.
Okay. It's a fighting chance.
Listen, Listen, though, if you hit on that quarterback, Big Jeff's going to be like, all right, let's go.
Yeah, you like that.
Now get some more pieces.
On defense.
And let's go win.
Y'all got offense booming now. Let's get the defense right. I'll give y'all a year.
This is what they wrote. Report, Jeffrey Simmons will not be traded as Titans will need another way to gain draft capital.
So
what about Will Levis? Will Will Levis get traded during this draft?
Who?
She says yes.
I say yes.
Okay.
We got a who cares? Do you know what's so funny? I went on, it's Press Box Radio. They have like some morning shows around town. Yeah, they're the best. Oh, you know, because one of them's, what's his name? Mississippi State basketball guy.
Bart Heights.
Yes.
Yep.
Anyway, so they asked about Will Levis or whatever, and I was like, I'm pretty sure Will Levis is dead to this fan base. I think I'm right.
I think you are correct, Babs.
They just said, who cares?
I mean,
well, I mean,
it was an emotional
What you going to
run.
get for him?
That's what I'm saying. Like, if you get a fourth for Will Levis, it's a done deal. Goodbye. See ya. I'm sorry. I wish you the best.
Done.
I'll help you pack. If you get a fifth for Will Levis, I'm still doing it.
I mean, if that'll give us.
I would do it for a fourth in a heartbeat.
I may do it for a 5 if it's a high 5 and we can move up to
high 5.
Yeah.
National High Five Day was last week.
That's right. We can move up to a 4th and then we can scoot on up to a 3rd. Because you'll have 3 5ths if you got that. You got 2 4ths, 2 5ths, 2 6.
I just think, like, looking back at the situation, when they signed Brandon Allen, I think that told you they're drafting Cam Ward, which we said in the moment, right? But it also means that he's the backup quarterback, to me, if they can do it. Now, you might not be able to do it. I don't know.
That's a lot of quarterbacks in the room. 4.
You can wait. You can let Will Levis look really good in the preseason games
Which he did last year.
Against the number 3s. Yeah, but he was the starter last year.
That's right.
Against the number 3s, he will ball, and then you can get something for him.
I just think there's got to be a team that's looking quarterback in the mid-rounds, and then when they get to thinking about it, they'll be like, do I really want a guy with no experience as the backup quarterback or a guy that has an NFL arm that I think I can fix, that has started a bunch of games in the NFL? And I think that's the guy that's gonna pull the trigger. Yeah.
Well, good luck for whoever go get him. He's a good talent. We cool with the Surrender Cobras. The Superman dives to the wrong person. Like we all right. He gonna be good. He gonna be good wherever we go though. It just won't be here.
You know that's gonna happen.
No, and it's cool. Like, I don't want him to fail. He's already failed. I don't want him to fail twice. Let's start succeeding at some point.
No more underhand throws, like trick shots.
Yeah.
If you need trick shot guy, he's your guy.
He better than trick shot.
He can make a lot of money on the internet.
Try anything. You dive over the pile for first down in the middle of the field, like the 50-yard line.
I would, Babs, to your point about trading back, I would definitely not mind that, because I would love to see them have 2 picks tonight.
Agreed.
Because if they pick at 35, they're done until Saturday morning, right?
Now, the only thing is, if you trade back, your edge hopes take a hit. Just strictly from a statistical success rate of edge guys where they go in rounds and them being successful.
If I told you you could trade back and get Landon Jackson and an additional pick, would you do it?
Holy done. That's my dream. Make it happen. Let's go.
That's a situation where you could trade back and then maybe you get some intel that somebody's about to take him and then trade back up.
I don't care. Just get him. Just get him.
Let's have some fun with this draft tonight, y'all.
Open it up for foolishness.
I mean, we got
Maybe
9.
they'll surprise us.
Listen, we got 9 bottles of moonshine over here between the 4 of us.
9 bottles of moonshine. I don't know.
I included Robert in that. Did you hear that?
Yeah, with us.
Well,
he goes, hell yeah, I heard it.
He's going to grab one on his own. Which one would you pick? I'm going Hunch Punch.
I'm definitely taking Hunch Punch.
Sorry, Slay. No more Hunch Punch for you.
There's one over there.
Oh,
I'm going with what Bert said he gonna pick.
The blue one?
Yep, blue Jolly Rancher. Even though that's
the
not the
official name is Sour Raspberry.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't like the sour part of things.
Yeah.
You're sour.
I am definitely not sour. I'm the most stupidly optimistic person in the history of people.
You really are.
Mike Green.
I look for the good in everything.
You ain't wrong. It annoys me sometimes.
I know it does. That's okay. I'm just me. You know me. So anyway, we appreciate Jackson back at the world famous Music Row, our studios back there, holding it down. Also Ross, who lent his voice into our earphones during the break. That was cool. Also Bert on site. Jeff was on site. Rich on site. Who else do we have on site?
We have Cam Ward.
Cam Ward on site. Taylor Zarzar on site.
Our Titans fans
Titans
on
fans
site.
on site.
Hey, appreciate y'all coming. It's going to be fun in that mosh pit. I'm going to tell you that. We're going to get down there for a little bit.
In the mosh pit?
Yeah. Our thanks to superfan Landon, who was here.
Yup.
And is here. He wants to be a wide receiver, he said.
After commentating games.
That's definitely true. So we'll be back at it on Monday to break it all down. So listen to the Zone all day long on Monday.
We should have North Texas head coach Eric Morris, who was the one who found Cam, basically, recruited Cam Ward. He should join us Monday.
No, basically, he did.
Did you hear Cam? Took him about 6 or 7 months to offer. I've given him plenty of crap on it.
Yeah.
That's funny. Because the story is that he offered on site. So anyway. Nope. All right, weekend's here, y'all. Enjoy properly and safely. We appreciate you guys including us in your lives and in your day. We do not take that for granted, nor do we take that lightly. Have a great weekend, y'all. Draft time. Good night. God bless.
See ya.
Wouldn't want to be unless you were getting a shout out to whoever's in the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth round. Come on and tighten up.